25 feet of the entrance. This includes the use of vapor inducing rents. Thank you for your cooperation. We hope you enjoyed today's game. Let's go, Skunks! Please welcome today's honorary bad boy, Lucas North. Lucas Lopez. Batting third, designated hitter number 23, Adam Diethrick. Batting fourth, the extra hitter number 27, James Aselta. Batting fifth, the second baseman number 88, Giuseppe Arcuri. Batting sixth, the left fielder number 45, Matt Gestapano. Batting seventh, the catcher number 44, Bryce Mortellaro. Batting eighth, the first baseman number 11, Chad Falcon. Batting ninth, the center fielder number 12, Kyle Henderson. Batting 10th, shortstop number 7, Dale Rodriguez. And on the mound for the visiting Batavia Muckdogs, number 20, Preston Prince. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Adam Peterson to throw out tonight's ceremonial first pitch. Adam Peterson is a Jamestown native who now lives in Naples, Florida. Adam is a high school teacher and is currently coaching baseball at Lily High School. Adam and his family enjoy watching and playing baseball and the Tarp Skunks.
WRFA intern Will Stallsmith. Tonight's game features your Jamestown Tarp Skunks hosting the Batavia Muckdogs. A reminder, support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball is through support from Schultz Auto Group, the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, Chautauqua Institution, and Reg Renee Center for the Arts. Funding is also provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Today's game is being broadcast at WRFA 107.9 FM and streaming on WRFALP.com, with the broadcast also available on the Tarp Skunks YouTube channel. So Jason, Skunks got back to their winning ways yesterday, a 6-2 victory over Geneva. They'll look to go back-to-back here tonight.
Yeah, it should be an entertaining game because we've got the Batavia Muckdogs in town. They are the #1 team in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League Western Division. They come in with a record of 19-8. That's good for a 704 winning percentage. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games, Norm. Meanwhile, Jamestown comes in not too shabby, 7-3 in their last 10 games. Their percentage is 604 winning percentage, and their record is now 14-9-1 because they did tie once, and they don't really keep track of that in the league standings. But we know that one game was a tie. So Jamestown has played a total of 24 games here, about midway through the season now, and they are in the thick of things. This game will go a long way in helping them position themselves possibly to win the Western Division like they did 2 years ago. If nothing else, a victory tonight will help keep them in the hunt for the playoffs, which are less than a month away now.
Yes, they are, but one thing they need to cut down on, though, last night in their win over Geneva, they issued 11 walks as a pitching unit. They need to cut that number down significantly if they want to win tonight.
Well, I know you weren't here on the 4th of July, but they didn't have a lot of walks on that game, so it's pretty much game by game. It all depends. I tell you what we'll do, Norman, is we're going to take a break for the national anthem, but we will see you on the other side. This will be a great national anthem because, if I'm not mistaken, we have an entire choir here from, if I'm not mistaken, the church in Jamestown. So we'll let them make way here as they make their way in the infield, and they will have the national anthem for you, and then we'll have some baseball right here on WRFA.
Would you please join us in the singing of our national anthem? We'll be listening for your voices as well.
to get this matchup started.
Rousing.
Yeah.
A rousing rendition of the national anthem. Very good job there.
Always encouraging
Beautiful.
to see stuff like that.
Yeah, I love it when they. It's great to hear the Army military band play the national anthem over the loudspeakers when they pipe that in, but I love it when they do the live national anthem as well. Good stuff there with the Star Spangled Banner. So let's take a look at the starting lineup here, and we'll begin with the Batavia Muckdogs, Norm, since they will be taking the first crack at it. The lineup for the Batavia Muckdogs, we have number 16, Josh Leadham in right field, leading off. We have Lucas Lopez, the third baseman, batting second. Batting third will be Adam Agresti, the designated hitter. He is also one of the top players in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. We'll talk more about him later on. Batting fourth in cleanup will be James Asalta, the extra hitter. Batting fifth will be number 88, Giuseppe Arcuri, the second baseman. Batting sixth will be Matt DeStefano, the left fielder. Batting seventh will be Bryce Mortellaro, the catcher. Batting eighth will be Chad Falcon, the first baseman. Batting ninth will be Kyle Hetherington, the center fielder, and batting 7th will be Caleb Rodriguez, or batting 10th will be Caleb Rodriguez, number 7, the shortstop. And that is the lineup. Pitching tonight is Evan Chafee, by the way, for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, speaking of that, from taking a look at the stat sheet, it's actually his third start of the season, though. When he pitches here at Diethrick, it's mainly been for relief appearances.
Will Stallsmith has his official stat line. What do you got, Will?
Let's see. So he has started 2 games so far with 15.2 innings, allowing 17 hits, 8 runs, 8 errors on the game, 7 walks, 11 strikeouts, and an ERA of 4.60.
All right, thanks, Will. And I think we're about ready to get this one underway. Take it away, Norm.
Jason, as always, thank you very much, as Leadham will, pun intended, lead it off here for Batavia. Batting numbers may be a bit on the Mendoza line, but when he gets on base, look out, because he is a speed demon as he swings and misses on the first pitch for strike one. Oh, delivery on the way by Chaffee, and that's upstairs, evens the count 1-1. 1-1 coming for Leadham, and that one inside makes it 2-1.
You know, Norm, as you were saying, he is a speed demon. He does have 22 stolen bases on the season.
Yeah, there was a game against Jamestown where he had 3 in a game. So he's no slouch on the base paths. He's got more than the leader for Jamestown, which is Zach Kent, who's got 14. As the next pitch is upstairs and outside for ball 3, making it a 3-1 count.
Leadham actually is second in the entire Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League in stolen bases, so he's right up there near the top.
Well, here comes the 3-1. That one hits the outside corner. Count goes full. Payoff pitch coming for Chaffee. And that's going to go into left and just foul.
Lucky break for Jamestown there. He might have gotten a 2-bagger with that one. Instead, we'll do it over again with the full count at 3-2. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of this game. I know we're at the start of July still. We're about midway through the season. But with Batavia Muckdogs being 9-1 in their past 10 games and 19-8 overall, this is a crucial game for Jamestown.
Next payoff pitch, and it's called inside, ball 4. Pitch that could have gone either way, but it goes the way of Leadham, and he will take the free pass to go on to first base. And now it will be Lucas Lopez, the third baseman.
Lucas Lopez.
So runner on first here, and like you said, Jason, as Liam's going to take off, here's a throw by Juwan over second, and not in time. So steal number 23 on the year for Josh Leadham. So now he's already in scoring position and eliminates the possibility of a double play.
What's the stat line for Lopez, Will?
So on the season, he's batting .290 right now with 20 hits, 12 runs, and two doubles on the season so far, and 3 RBIs. So who knows how he's going to come out tonight.
Oh, here comes a throw to third. He got caught in the middle of a rundown. This time it looked like he was nailed, and he's out at third. Got a little too greedy there and touched the kettle and it was too hot. So went from a runner on second and nobody out to empty bases with one and a 1-0 count here for Chaffee. And something I actually found out a little bit ago, he is actually no longer an Alabama Crimson Tide pitcher. He's in the process of transferring over to St. John's.
Oh, interesting. Good work, Norm.
Yeah, I actually had a chance to talk to him the second game that I had off when Tom and Zeke were on call, and he said he was indeed working on transferring to go down there.
Oh, boy, here we go. The trouble with third base again. How many times have we seen that this season?
At least twice.
I think in one game it happened twice, and then it happened again in another game. But whenever somebody slides into third just right, it knocks it off its moorings. It's a little resting pole there, and one of the grounds crew is only person in the stadium who has the magic touch, who is able to get out there and do what needs to be done. We've seen players try to position the base back in position, and no such luck. We've seen a coach try it. I think I even saw a pitcher from the bullpen come out and make an attempt, but for whatever reason, only the groundskeeper knows the secret to getting third base back on its moorings. And there he goes. He gives it a couple of whacks, a couple of punches just for good effort. A little regular Sonny Liston out there whacking the bag, and I think it's good to go now. It's tamping it down, and we're ready to resume play. So there you go. Nice work by the grounds crew here. The best grounds crew in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League here at Diethrick Park.
Oh, they've always done a great job making the field look tip-top, ship-shape. So 1-0 pitch coming up here for Chaffee. That one hits the outside corner. Count goes even.
Really good job by Jamestown. They read the book well on Leadham, too, to get him trying to steal third there. And that got them out of a jam, so to speak.
1-1 on the way. That one way outside, but Juwan with a nice catch, making the count 2-1. And you know, it's funny, when one of my last shifts at my other job, I actually saw Juwan, and he said he was out for a little bit. He took a hit from a cooler after a Skunks win, which gave him a concussion, but next pitch is fouled off to the backstop, making the count 2-2. But it's good to see him back behind the dish.
Wow, you know, in baseball, you always hear of bizarre incidents where a player will get put on the IR. I don't think I've ever heard of somebody getting hit in the noggin by a cooler from their own teammate, probably celebrating a win.
Yep, that's what he told me what it was.
Had to be the walk-off, one of the two walk-offs we had a few weeks back.
I believe he told me it was to steal a home.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Last pitch was upstairs, making it a full count, and here comes the payoff. Caught, looking, strike three on the outside corner. This time he gets a strikeout right there, his first one of the game, and 2 outs already on the board here. Out will be Adam Agresti. He's usually the starting catcher, but he will be the DH here. And I'm taking a look at the stat line, batting over 400.
Yeah, he's fourth in the league with a 409 average. Will has the rest of the stats here, but he's in the top 10 in several categories of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. So he's definitely an all-star this year, number 23 for the Batavia Muckdogs. Here comes the first pitch, and he watches that one go as a ball. So 1-0 is the count here with 2 outs, top of the first inning on WRFA.
And as Jason was saying, he's batting .409 on the season with 27 hits, 66 at-bats, and 9 runs.
Here's Chafee's next pitch. That'll be outside for a ball. 2-0 the count now. And you got to be careful with Agresti. Yeah, he's tied for 8th with 29 hits, tied for 3rd in the league with 9 doubles, and tied for 5th in the league with 3 sacrifice flies. Definitely an all-around great player. Here comes the pitch.
And now an inside ball 3, and should Agresti get walked or get on base, it's going to be a Celta that is due up next. He's the extra hitter in this game. Here's a 3-0, and that one hits the outside corner, strike 1, so no 4-pitch walk in this at-bat. Here comes a 3-1 by Chafee, and that's low. Ball 4, second walk issued of the inning, and it will be a Celta coming up the bat after all, the extra hitter.
The extra hitter, number 27, James Celta.
Batting cleanup. Does he have cleanup numbers, Will?
So far, he's batting .333 on the season, 8 hits, 24 at-bats, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs.
Not too shabby. You said 2 RBI?
Yes.
As the next pitch, it's an outside corner, making it an 0-1 count.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe he's been out for a while. Batting cleanup with
only 24 at bats for him, so not too many attempts to get an RBI in there.
Didn't mean to cut you off, but there was a pickoff and getting back safely. And I can say this, Will, usually when you're a left-hander on the rubber, the advantage you have is when the runner's at first base and you take the check, you can look right at him. If you take a good look at it like right now. As next pitch is in the dirt, but Juwan with another nice catch, making the count 1-1.
This could be Batavia could be the A team. They have several players with their first name starting with A. It makes it somewhat confusing for a guy like me. I know you've got it handled, Norm, but I always have trouble. That's a swing and a miss, by the way, making the count 1-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, Acelta, I think he wanted to be the second Muck Dog to hit a home run here at Diethrick. The other guy that did it for them earlier in the year was Anthony Calabro. That was a 3-run shot in the Game 2 of the doubleheader, but here's the 1-2 on the way, and that's inside and low, ball 2. So Acelta going to make Chaffee work a little bit here to get the last out and get a shutout inning in the books. Two-two pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, so Acelta swings and misses. Chaffee with his second strikeout of the inning, and no run scored. The Skunks will come up to bat momentarily.
Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group celebrating over 50 years serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown community with an excellent customer buying and owner experience. All repair facilities have experience in factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of Tarp Skunks baseball and WRFA. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998. Again, that is 1-866-931-2998, or visit SchultzAutoGroup.com.
Will, as always, thank you very much, and good to have you up here with us again in the press box. And
yeah, good to be back up here with you guys.
And like you said before the start of the game, it's going to be Prince starting on the rubber for the Batavia Muckdogs. Is number 20, Preston Prince. Height-wise, I'd say similar to Ronaldo Usen, the pitcher we've seen a couple times for Batavia, but a lot more on the leaner side. 6'4", 205-pound southpaw, goes to Niagara University. So taking a look at him, I'm sure he's got some smoke about low to mid-90s.
He's definitely throwing some high heat here in the warm-up, Storm. Of course, once you get a batter in the box, it could be a totally different story, but he looks pretty sharp here. And I didn't get a chance to see how many runs so far Batavia has given up this season, but I know that their offense is great. Their pitching probably is just as good. Like I said, when you come in with a record of 19-8, you've got twice as many wins as you do losses. I mean, any team will take that. And it's pretty indicative of just how well-rounded this team is, whether it be pitching or batting. So, like I said at the start of the broadcast, I think this will be a good middle season check for Jamestown to see just how far they've come along since the last time they played Batavia. Batavia had their number last year, and they played them in a doubleheader. They won one and they lost one earlier this season back on June 21st. And they also, I think, played one game on the road and lost to them 3-2. So these games have been close. I think today's game will be close as well, but Jamestown definitely wants to come out strong here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and so we've got the Skunks in our batting order. It's going to be Paul Catalano leading off. He's playing at center field. He's not a regular starter, but he's seen a lot more action as of late, as the first pitch to him is fouled off to the backstop for strike 1.
Catalano on the season's hitting .278, 10 hits, 36 at-bats, 8 runs, and 3 RBIs.
0-1 on the way is outside, making it a 1-1 count. And the rest of the starting lineup, though, for your Skunks, after Catalano, it's going to be the member of the Ivy League quartet, Tommy Guggens, playing short. Jake Kernodle, the DH. Then Henry Juwan, the cleanup man at catcher, as the next pitch is called a ball. And then 5 through 10, it's going to be Thompson back at third. Matt Thompson, we haven't seen much of him as of late. Kieran Gagnon playing in left field. He had a couple of steals after pinch running in yesterday's win. Jared Munoz playing the extra hitter. Drew Garth in right field. Cooper Monroe getting a start at first. And Bendeck playing second base. And again, the starting pitcher for Jamestown is Chaffee. But right now, Catalano's ahead in the count, 3-1. Here's the next pitch by Prince. And he gets dethroned on that pitch right there. And Catalano, like Leadham in the top of the first, leads it off with a walk.
Yeah, lefty versus lefty. I would think that the advantage would go to Prince there, but good job by Catalano to watch the ball and keep an eye on the not-so-good pitches. So the first one batter that Prince faces is a walk. Good news for Jamestown, and now Tommy Guggen stepping up, the shortstop, at the right side of the plate.
Prince, like Chaffee, is a southpaw. Next pitch is outside for a ball, making it a 1-0 count.
And Guggen's on the season's batting .271, 13 hits, 7 runs, and 14 RBIs. If I'm correct, he is leading the Tarp Skunks in RBIs this season.
Next pitch on the way by Prince, outside corner, strike one, count goes even. Yes, Skunks, it's been a bit of a roller coaster the last 6 games, winning 3 and losing 3, but they're in second place behind Batavia, and they're in the thick of it in the Western Division. They are not far behind Batavia by any means. As the pickoff is unsuccessful, Catalano slides back in safely.
Tommy Guggen's one of the 4 players from Princeton University playing here in Jamestown. He'll be followed up by another Princeton player, Jake Kernodle, who is on deck.
Next pitch outside, 2-1.
Yeah, Bryce Mortellero tried to frame that as a strike. Nice effort there by the catcher for Batavia, but the umpire wasn't fooled, giving us another ball in that 2-1 count that Norm mentioned here.
Prince's next pitch, that one's fouled off, evens it at 2s.
Beautiful night for baseball, too. If you're wondering what the weather is like here in Jamestown, it's near perfect. In the mid to upper 70s, hardly any breeze, no humidity in the air. You really can't ask for a better night of baseball than what we have right now at Diethrick Park.
So counts even here, 2-2. Checking on Catalano at first, another pickoff, but Catalano, he didn't have a huge lead, so he was able to get back to first without a hitch.
Yeah, you really don't want to take a huge lead when you got a left-handed pitcher up there. It's lefty and lefty both starting tonight, right, for Jamestown and Batavia, and they can keep an eye on the runner at first.
Next pitch outside, but a nice catch by Mortellaro, making the count full.
Yeah, Catalano's taking a generous leadoff in spite of having a pitcher who's staring him right down as he sets for his next pitch.
Full count, and possibility Prince could issue back-to-back walks, and he does. Inside ball 4, so Jamestown with a good opportunity here to start it off as they have their first licks via the bat. And now it's going to be the skunk responsible for both home runs hit for Jamestown this year, Jake Kernodle.
And on the season for Kernodle, he's hitting .211, 8 hits, 9 runs, and he has 7 RBIs.
Couple of dingers as well, right?
Yeah, a couple of dingers. So maybe he'll be lucky to get another one tonight. Never know.
Well, the funny thing is the home run he hit at Diethrick, it was the same game that Monroe's was erased because he outran a runner that was behind him. As the first pitch, Kernodle hit the outside corner for a strike. Yeah, when that incident happened, we were looking at each other, what in the world was going on? But we found out after the inning that nobody knew the ball was out of the park and Monroe outran the runner that was ahead of him. Next pitch, outside corner, so Prince ahead in the count, 0-2 right here.
Yeah, Norm, I've heard you call home run moonshots a couple of times broadcasting with you, but that was a literal moonshot. That hung up so far that that home run that we saw a couple of weeks back, that Monroe was rounding first before it even landed.
It was still a 2 RBI single that was credited as Catalano was taken off and the ball goes foul down the first base side. So Kernodle able to see another pitch in this at-bat, and that's the rule of thumb. When it's around the zone, at least take a hack at it. Even if it's foul, you get to see another pitch.
Yeah, you got to protect the plate when you're having an 0-2 count against you that we have right now with Kernodle facing Preston Prince, the pitcher for Batavia. Left-handed pitcher versus a right-handed batter. Let's see who wins this one.
Well, here's the 0-2, and this one's going in the right field. It looks like it's going to possibly be misplayed, but, oh, he dropped the ball! Catalano's going to head for third, and Bazil says, let's go station to station. And Catalano's heading home. The ball was aired on the throw. Catalano's safe. Runners are going. Guggens is going to be out. But Kernodle advances to second, and over there in right field, that was Josh Leadham, and it looked like he should have made that catch, and I think that should possibly be an E9. We'll just have to wait and see, but a run does score. And Proof Prince's crown looks like plastic.
I scored it an E9 already. I'm not sure what they're going to say up in the press box over here, but my feeling is that if you can get your glove on it, they credited it as a hit, Norm. He got his glove on it. He was running back. Sure, he had to cover some ground to get back there, but my feeling as an outfielder is that if you can run back and track it down and let it hit your glove,
it looked catchable to me.
Then it should have been caught. So all the same, they credited him with a hit, and that was a single, but I've got E9 written down on my scorecard.
So do I. To me, it looked like it was catchable, but
as a right fielder, myself,
you gotta catch
I was always taught that if you are able to track it down and get it in your glove, you got to pull it in. And hit his glove and bounced out.
But a run does score on it. Catalano went from second to home, and Guggens got nailed trying to go to third. But Kernodle is at second, and it's Henry Juwan that's up to the plate. And I'm sure he's aching to make Prince yell out, Geronimo!
We're waiting for that one, haven't you?
Hey, I can't always say Jujubes.
It's good to mix it up.
Even DeMarco approved of it, too. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and this one's ripped over to left. That's going to drop. Base hit. Kernodle's going to get waved home. Juwan's going to try and hustle for second. Throw to second, and he's safe. I thought he got nabbed in the back, but RBI double for Juwan. Everybody jump. Juwanamo! A an RBI double, for Henry Juwan, and 2 runs here in the bottom of the first. And now it's going to be Matt Thompson, the third baseman.
Yeah, huge opportunity for Jamestown here to jump on the Batavia Muckdogs early, and they're doing just that. Just 1 out with runners at second, and we're still got more batters to come. What's Matt Thompson's numbers, Will?
So far this season, he's batting .256 with 10 hits, 39 at-bats, and 10 runs, and 7 RBIs.
Next pitch by Prince. That one hits the outside corner for strike 1. Jamestown wasting no time, proving they can literally play with the big dogs, and the Muckdogs last couple years have been one of the strong teams in this division as Prince checks on Juwan at second. 0-1, some nice off-speed there, and it paints the outside corner with that artistic brush.
Yeah, very close to being a ball, but just nicked the corner, and that was enough to give it a strike, so we got the 0-2 count here with 1 out against Thompson.
So count here 0-2, Juwan the runner at second. Here's the next pitch by Prince. Caught, look at strike 3, and I don't know if it's anywhere near the zone. If you're down 0-2, at least try to wave the bat at it, even if it's a foul tip.
That was pretty low. Sometimes, you think that if your pitcher's up 0-2 count, you might throw you a ball or two. So I don't blame Thompson for looking that one away, but it just nicked the corner and got a strike. Better luck next time. In the meantime, Kieran Gagnon, the left fielder, now at the plate.
Yesterday, he actually was a pinch runner in the 7th inning. He did go 1 for 1 in his 1 at-bat, and he also stole 2 bases, and he is one of 4 skunk players that is double figures in the thievery department. I'll let Will continue on with the stat line.
Yeah, he's batting .294 on the season, 10 hits, 34 at-bats, 7 runs, and 10 stolen bases on the season.
Next one, Pogo sticks in the dirt for a ball. Yeah, the way Gagnon's been playing, I think when he goes back to Toronto, give that man a lifetime supply of poutine.
Yep.
Personally, never been a fan of gravy on fries, but can't say no to cheese curds. Count here, though, 2-0 in Gagnon's favor, and Prince looking to just end the inning without any further damage. The Skunks have already put a small dent in the bottom of the first. And that's something they've had a little trouble in, is trying to answer with the opportunities in the early parts of the games. They've done well in the later halves of them, but they're trying to show they can do it in the beginning as well, which they have so far, as Gagnon swings and misses, making the count 2-1, and I think you want to try and hit that one again over to the CN Tower.
And maybe with these 2 early runs, it'll establish some confidence in them, and they'll be able to get more runs throughout the game. You never know.
This one's a chopper. Mortellaro does field it. Throw over to first in time, but Jamestown does put 2 runs on the board. Juwan with an RBI off of a double, and Skunks up 2-0. Second inning coming up in just a moment right here on WRFA.
Fans, our concession stand in the coming voice is brought to you by 3C Catering. They've got all your favorite ballpark food and drinks. Boston Special tables they created just for the Tarp Skunks. Take advantage of this break in the action. Grab something yummy from our concession stand. Owned and operated by 3C Catering. Fans, please welcome 3 special groups tonight. Joining us tonight is Zion Lutheran Church, Christ First United Methodist Church, and the Santa Claus of Jamestown.
What do you like to do when not playing baseball? I like hanging out with my dog, I like fishing, golfing. Yeah. What's your favorite baseball memory? Favorite baseball memory is probably also, I did hit a home run from my first house. What do you like best about playing for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks? It's really high-level baseball, and it's a really cool atmosphere. I've had a good time with it. Look forward to more good times. Sounds good. Anything else to add?
And the top of the second about to start here at Diethrick Park, the crown jewel of Jamestown, New York, with the Skunks up 2-0. Chaffee being prepared to start a second inning of work, and the batters due up are going to be Arcuri, DeStefano, and Mortellaro.
On the season, Arcuri's batting .325 with 25 hits, 77 at-bats, 12 runs, and 14 RBIs.
And he's wearing an unusual number for a baseball player, wearing number 88. Actually, the last MLB player that actually wore that was a starter. I'm sure Jason knows the name, but this is a little fact you can put in your pocket, Will. Rene Gonzalez, back late 80s, early 90s for the Baltimore Orioles, who are actually a rival of the Red Sox, as the next pitch is chopped over to third, but it's going to go into left field for a base hit. So Arcuri gets the first hit of the game for Batavia. And a runner out for, he's going to try it for second because the throw is errant, and he'll get there safely. So credit him with a single, and then plus off of a wild throw, he'll advance another 90 feet. So already in scoring position, and it'll be Matt DeStefano, who is in left field.
Yeah, and mental mistakes, you don't want to see anything like that happen when you're playing a team like Batavia, 19-8 on the season. You don't want to give them any edge they can take advantage of. We'll see if Jamestown can get out of this unscathed with no outs here and a runner at second. That'll be outside for a ball. And what's the numbers on DeStefano, Will?
Stefano's batting .302 on the season, 13 hits, 43 at-bats, 9 runs, and 8 RBIs so far.
Well, he's looking to make it 9 RBI here. Let's see if Chaffee can shut him down.
And first an aborted pickoff attempt, and who knows, because with him with 8 RBIs, maybe he could be like the second to last track on disc 2, the White Album, number 9, 9 RBIs. But they'll take what they can get. They're down 2-0 here, and they're looking to extend their first place lead. Jamestown looking to cut it down an inch. Next pitch is low and outside, making the count 2-0. So Chaffee looking to at least get a 2-1 count. Swing and a miss, strike one, and wanted some cheddar on the Trisket, but they got burnt in the oven. Gets the sign he wants from Juwan. Arcuri with a small lead off a second. Another swing and a miss. He's wanting to hit another long ball here for the Muckdogs, but the way he's been swinging, it's putting him in the doghouse. So coming back from 2-0, making an even count, 2-2. Chaffee checking on Arcuri. Here's the next pitch. That's going to go over to second, fielded cleanly by Bendeck, and throw to Monroe in time for the first out, but the Stefano does get the job done. Arcuri advances 90 feet, and with just one out, they have a chance to at least get one run here in the inning, and it's going to be Bryce Mortolaro, the Muckdogs man behind the plate.
Chafee waiting for the signal. I think he's ready to fire, and here we go.
And he'll swing and miss for strike one. I paused for a second because I thought Will was ready for the stat line from the way I was seeing from the peripheral side holding the stat sheet.
Sorry, I was looking for the name, but I got it now. So he's batting .281 on the season with 9 hits and 32 at bats and 4 runs.
Well, next pitch hits the heart of the plate for strike 2. So Chaffee ahead in the count 0-2. Next pitch on the way. And that sounded like it broke the bat, but fielded cleanly there by Googans. Throw to first in time, and that's exchanging an out for a run. So Mortolaro does drive in an RBI, makes it 2-1. And now it'll be Chad Falcon, the first baseman, coming up to bat.
Chad Falcon.
On the season, Chad Falcon's batting .161, 5 hits, 31 at bats, and 2 runs.
Lefty versus lefty here. Let's see who has the advantage.
2 outs, nobody on base. Next pitch is outside for a ball. One 1-0 delivery by Chaffee on the way. That one's slightly outside, making it 2-0.
Listening to Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown. The score is 2-1 here in the top of the second with 2 outs. Nobody on for Batavia.
As Falcon fouls that one off, and it makes the count 2-1.
Chafee taking his time here. Some pitchers are just ready to hurl right when they get the ball back from the catcher, but Chafee a little more slow going here. That'll be a swing and a miss for strike number 2. The count is now 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the second.
He's one of those pitchers that'll make the player wait for them to pitch the ball instead of making the player pitch them.
And speaking of that, swing and a miss for strike 3 for Chafee. That's his 3rd strikeout already. And Muckdogs do get a run on the board, though. Makes the score 2-1. So, Will, I'll shift it over to you.
Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball is brought to you in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses. It also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses, and it offers businesses assistance in the form of tax, low-interest loans, bond financing, all of which enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com.
All right, Will, as always, thank you very much. As Prince is about to get another inning of work here, and he'll look to have a better inning than he did in the first, where the Skunks scored 2 runs, one scored by an aiding of an error in right field, and the other one was an RBI double by Henry Juwan. But the batters that are due up for Jamestown is going to be Munoz, Garth, and Monroe, the 7 through 9 hitters. Now with that, Prince about to throw his last warm-up pitch, and the Skunks, after that, will be ready to go back up the bat with the fork and knife in their hand, looking to add more runs to their lead.
Want to remind folks, too, Norm, while we're waiting for the batter to come up here, the next game is actually a doubleheader on Wednesday. Game number 1 will begin at 4:30. The second game will begin at about a half an hour afterward. But, yeah, a doubleheader for Wednesday. And it's $2 night. So if you are interested in stretching your money out, come on down to the ballpark on Wednesday night, starting at 4:30 or even afterward. We have 2 games on the schedule, both 7 innings.
Next pitch hits the outside corner for a strike, and the best thing about that, Jason, I cannot turn down a $2 glizzy every now and again with some mustard, onion, the works.
$2 what?
Glizzies. It's another term for hot dogs.
Goodness, Norm, I learned something new every day with you.
And that one goes into center field for a base hit, so Munoz gets on to first and leadoff single for him, and now it will be the man that likes to crank up Bohemian Rhapsody in the car, Drew Garth, up the bat.
And Garth on the season is batting .262, 11 hits, 42 at-bats, and 5 runs, and 6 RBIs.
Got another lefty versus lefty here. It worked out in Jamestown's favor at the top of the first inning with Catalano getting on base and eventually scoring a run. We'll see what happens here with Garth.
Well, here's a pickoff, and Munoz gets back in safely, and Munoz not one of the fastest Skunks on the roster, but he extends his lead a little bit off the bat compared to the last time. And another pickoff, and back in safely, and
Double Muckdog dare, I guess.
will the next one be a triple?
I don't know. He's daring Prince to throw it his way. We'll see if he does 3 in a row here. 2 pickoff attempts already with Munoz at first, but Prince will throw. That'll be high for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, and Garth, he's one of those guys for Jamestown that's not scared to swing the bat if it's a pitch he likes. I say the top 2 guys on the team that are not scared to swing are he and Colin Houck. As the next pitch is in the dirt, but a good block by Mortellaro to avoid Munoz possibly taking off. So second straight inning that the Skunks have gotten a leadoff guy on base to start it off, and Garth looking to at least get Munoz over into scoring position. As Prince gets the pitch he wants, here's the 2-0, and that one upstairs, ball 3.
Prince having some trouble so far in the early stages here, getting control. He walked the first 2 batters he faced. One of them scored a run, and then the third batter he faced in the first inning also scored a run, making it 2 runs for Jamestown. But he has that risk now of letting the first 2 batters here in the second inning get on.
And that one hits the inside corner, so count goes 3-1.
Prince has to deliver 2 more strikes here. We'll see if Garth gets the green light and swings at this one.
Well, here's another pickoff, and back in safely is Munoz. And over the 3 years we have been partaking in this program, Jason, we've seen where some pitchers on both sides, whether it be Jamestown or the opponent, they hit that well one too many times in the pickoff, then a throw goes bad. But this is a chopper, but it's a high popper to third. Throw over to first is in time by a step, but at least there was no double play. Had that not have been a high popper off the bounce, it's very likely it could have been 2, but at least he got Munoz in the scoring position.
Yeah, that bought Munoz some time, and with 1 out, it's looking good for Jamestown. Somewhat promising here with a runner in scoring position, and 2 more batters coming up here with just 1 out. We've got Cooper Monroe and then Connor Bendick, the final batter in the lineup before we get back to the top of the order with Catalano.
Yeah, Monroe, he was the man that hit the homer that never was, and it appeared he went around on the check swing, and he did. Strike 1.
On the season, Monroe's batting .194, 6 hits, 3 runs, and 31 at-bats.
Monroe, he can crack the ball. We have seen it. Here's the next pitch on the way. Fouled off, strike 2.
We did our Meet the Skunks feature with Monroe a couple of days ago, and obviously you had to ask him when it comes time to ask the question, what other sports do you play? And he mentioned sports that didn't involve basketball. I said, did anybody ever ask you if you play basketball? He goes, all the time, but I never really got into basketball. And I didn't really start growing until after high school.
Prince heading the count 0-2. Here comes the next pitch. And a pogo stick in the dirt, but again, a good block by Mortellaro, and Munoz gets back in safely.
Risky business out there at second base, but good job by Munoz to get chased back to second there. That drop by the catcher put Munoz almost for an instant thinking he could get to third, and then he hesitated, and that's where he was almost caught up in between second and third. Luckily, he got back. No harm, no foul. Here we go with a 1-2 count with 1 out against Monroe.
And speaking of that, here comes the pitch, and Monroe hits it foul. It's going to go out of play, so protecting the plate, looking for the right pitch to at the minimum, get it into the shallow outfield and possibly drive home Munoz. There are open pockets out there. The outfield playing semi-shallow, but there's still open gaps in the middle of the outfield. But count here 1-2, and heard a couple fans yelling out a balk, but we actually saw one of those the other day.
Saw a few of them this season here.
Yeah, I think we've seen 2 at the minimum. But here's the 1-2, and Monroe fouls it off to the backstop. Count stays 1-2. Prince looking for that right pitch to try to get Monroe out. Here's the 1-2, and he swings and misses for strike 3. So second strikeout for Prince. And with that, it's going to be Bendeck, the second baseman.
The second baseman from Springfield College, number 2, Connor Bendeck.
And on the season so far, Bendeck only has 26 at-bats and 2 hits off of that, and 2 of those being, and he has also 3 runs. So not too many stats for him, but he can't hit the ball sometimes. So let's see if he can get one or 2 more hits tonight.
Speaking of that first pitch he saw, swung on and missed for a strike. And again, Bendeck, he's one of those guys that's not a full-time starter, but we have seen him have a start here and there at Diethrick throughout the years so far. And a pickoff attempt, but Munoz again gets back over to second. And again, Munoz not really known for having the golden wheels from what we've seen around the base pads, but he's got a good lead off of second. Count 0-1, next pitch on the way, and it's going to be a chopper, and it goes foul down the third base side, strike 2.
So Bendeck down in the count now, 0-2 with 2 outs here. Runner in second base here. Tarp Skunks trying to add to their 1-1 lead in the bottom of the second inning. If you're just joining us here on WRFA, the score is 2-1. Jamestown leading the Batavia Muckdogs, number 1 team in the Western Division.
To be the best, a lot of the times you've got to beat the best as Prince checks on Munoz at second. Here's the 0-2. Outside 1-2. So Bendeck staying patient at the plate, looking for that right one to try and get it in play for a hit and the drive home Munoz to make their lead back up to a pair of runs. And Prince looking to make Bendeck walk to the dugout in the purple rain here. A 1-2 count, 2 outs, next pitch. And caught looking. That one was right down the pipe, so he'll drive off with the little red Corvette with a shutout inning. Score still 2-1 after 2 complete innings. Third coming up after this on WRFA.
We will be hosting a strikeout cancer game. Thank you, Jeremy. Ladies and gentlemen, on July 26th, your Tarp Skunks are going to be taking on the Geneva Red Wings in a strikeout cancer game. We're going to have specially made pink jerseys that you guys have a chance to win. Raffle tickets will go on sale starting tomorrow. They're $50 a piece. And a couple days before the game, we're going to pick the raffle tickets. The winners will be announced at the end of the game. The winners will be able to come up onto the field, take a picture with whatever jersey, whatever player that they want to choose from, and they get to go home with that jersey. All proceeds that we make from the raffle tickets are going back to the American Cancer Society. Again, tickets go on sale starting tomorrow at $50. And the game is on July 26th. All proceeds will go to the American Cancer Society. Jeremy, back to you.
They make it a great experience here. They're always out here supporting us no matter what. Sounds good. Do you have anything else to add? Go Tarp Skunks. Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
In the batter's box for the Muckdogs.
Top of the third about to start here with the score still 2-1 in favor of Jamestown. The batting order will be 9-10-1. Kyle Hetherington leading it off, and then it'll be Rodriguez and back to the top with Leadham.
Another lefty versus lefty matchup here, Norm. to start off this third inning.
Always interesting to see it. This one nearly went into the pocket and right, but Monroe underhands it to Chafee, and he's going to be safe. And I think that'll be ruled a base hit because he was close enough to first, so at that discretion, I would call that an infield single.
Yeah, it was a foot race between Hetherington and Chafee, and he just beat out the pitcher over there. So even if Monroe had made that throw somewhat more cleaner to Chafee, I don't know if he would have been out. And they did credit that. I'm still waiting to see it. They just have one hit showing up for the Muckdogs, so we'll see how they rule it. Last time we said it was an error, and they scored a hit, so I'm going to hold off. They did score a hit.
Yo, here's one that goes over to left for a base hit, so back-to-back base hits. Try saying that 3 times fast, and speaking of 3 times fast, officially the third hit for Batavia, matching Jamestown, though we kind of ruled one of them that E9. But we are back to the top of the order with Josh Leadham, and his first at-bat, he was walked and added another steal, but the catch, when he tried to go into third, he got caught.
Well, Leadham can try to help his team out here, tie it up. Down by 1 run, but a runner at second, no outs, also a runner at first.
This one fouled off going over the top of the press box and makes it strike 1, so good chance here for Batavia to tie this game up, and with Leadham up to bat and seeing how fast he is, if he could get one into that outfield and get the runners to advance, I'm curious to see what would happen as the next pitch is fouled off on the press box and pops out for a strike 2. So count 0-2 here, runners on first and second for Batavia.
Plenty of options for Chafee with an 0-2 count.
Here's the pitch, and looked like he went around. It's close. And he got him, strike 3. So another strikeout there for Chafee, and that's number 4 for him on the start. And now it is going to be Lucas Lopez, the third baseman.
Yeah, Lopez struck out the first victim of Chafee in this ball game, struck out looking back in the first inning. He is the second batter in the lineup, so that's where we're at here. This is his second time up to the plate here in the top of the third.
So just one out here for Batavia. No need to hit the urgency button as the next pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. And the good news is for Chafee, from first to third, it's a force at any 3. Double steal. Juwan's going to throw to third, and he's safe. From my view, it looked like Thompson didn't have a clean hold of the ball in his glove, so a successful double steal there by Batavia. Now not 1, but 2 runners in scoring position, and if we see a possible base hit, Batavia could possibly take the first lead of the game.
Right. Important to get Lopez out here with 2 strikes now, 0-2 the count with 1 out. Here in the top of the third, runners at second and third.
Chafee's next pitch, and swung on and missed, strike 3, and strikeout number 5 already for Chafee. He is feeling it.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling it here, giving up 2 hits to start this one. He can get himself out of this jam with no harm done if he can get out maybe the best batter in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League Western Division with Adam Agresti, who was walked the first time he came up to the plate back in the first inning.
Yeah, we talked about before he came up to bat the first time. He's in that 400 club, coming in batting 409. Chafee's next pitch, off speed, outside, ball 1.
Little Formula 409 there. You remember that cleaning agent they used to sell all the time?
Giddy up 409. I believe it used to be in a spray bottle.
I think you're right.
Well, here's the 1-0 by Chafee. Swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1s. So count 1-1 with 2 outs, and after giving up 2 singles to start the inning, Chafee's responded with back-to-back Ks, and it'd be pretty sweet to see him strike out the side after allowing 2 hits to start it off.
Yeah, the St. John's freshman from Hamburg isn't rattled at all here, and he has a chance to shut this inning down.
And this is a hot shot over the left base hit. Hetherington's going to score, and here comes the throw home over to Juwan, and took a little too long to get the fielding of the glove, so 2 runs will score, and Batavia takes their first lead of the game, 3-2. So Agresti gets it done, drives in a pair, and 3 unanswered runs by Batavia after Jamestown's 2 in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Agresti showing why he is one of the top hitters in the league right there. He just got a rip and let it fly over to left field. Almost had a play at the plate here, very close, but just a little off and a lot of speed in the bottom of the order for the Muckdogs, getting both those runners in. Here's the first pitch against the next batter. That'll be a pop fly out to center field. Catalano will pull that one in for the final out, so that will do it here for the top of the 3rd inning. 2 runs scored by Batavia. They are now in the lead, 3-2. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd in just a moment, but first a word from our sponsors. Take it away, Will.
Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution, a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that comes alive each summer with a unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater, musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship, and programs, and recreational activities. The 2023 season features Natalie Merchant, Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, the Revivalists, Band of Horses, Straight No Chasers, Trombone Shorty, Mavis Staples, and many more artists. Chautauqua Institution. For more information, call 1-800-836-ARTS. That is 1-800-836-2787, or visit discover.chq.org.
Thanks, Will. And Norm, you know, we talked about this being a key matchup for Jamestown, and it's living up to the billing here. Some great pitching. We've got a pitcher for Jamestown in Evan Chafee, who's given up 5 strikeouts, but he's also given up 4 hits. And unfortunately, 3 runs to go along with those 4 hits. And Batavia now in the driver's seat with the score 3-2 against Jamestown. But Jamestown still has a chance to even this one up here before we conclude this inning here in the bottom of the 3rd. And if I'm not mistaken, we're back up at the top of the order, right? 1, 2, 3.
Yes, we are. Catalano, Googins, and Kernodle. And Catalano will look to get on base again. He actually led off the bottom of the first by getting a free pass. And I'll say it again, yesterday between Geneva and Jamestown, we saw 18 issue walks. It turned Diethrick Park into a free movie theater. But Catalano will look to get on base again, and whether it's a walk, a hit by pitch, or a base hit, you'll get on base no matter however it's given to you.
Yeah, so far Jamestown with 3 hits to go along with their 2 runs. We'll see what Catalano does here. He walked back in the first inning. And again, it's lefty versus lefty. Preston Prince, the pitcher for Batavia, squaring off against Paul Catalano, the left-handed leadoff hitter for Jamestown, playing center field in tonight's game.
And first pitch was called a ball. Next one inside for a 2-0 count.
Here's a delivery from Prince. That'll be low for a ball. 3-0 the count here. Threatening to walk Catalano for the 2nd time in as many plate appearances. We'll see if Prince can't right the ship and try to get a strike here. Here we go.
Well, here it comes and hits the inside corner for strike 1. So the good news for Prince, at least it will not be a 4-pitch walk. Next pitch on the way by Prince, and did he go around? Yes, according to the umpire, he did, but from my view, it looked like it hit the inside corner anyway.
Yeah, either way, it would have been a strike. I'm not sure if the bat made it all the way around. I think that's what the umpire was saying, too. He didn't even appeal to the first base umpire to see what he thought. It looked like it was just over the plate, so that's why it was a strike there. Catalano felt differently, but all the same, we've got a full count, 3-2 here.
Here's the payoff, and that one's low, ball 4, so 2 appearances for Catalano, and 2 times he'll walk like Frankie Valli over to first, and with that's going to be Googins, who, like Catalano, was also walking his first at-bat.
Yeah, and Catalano actually scored the first run for Jamestown a little bit later on with an RBI from Jake Kernodle, who's currently on deck here. But first things first, let's see what Tommy Googins can do. It looks like he walked, as you noted, Norm, and was caught. No, he wasn't caught stealing. He was just, I think,
trying to advance the third off that misplay by Lito.
That's what it was.
Catalano's taken off. Here's the throw over to second, and not in time. Catalano's safe. And so, Will, how many steals does that give for Catalano on the season?
That gives him 4 steals now.
And you know what's funny? This team averages roughly 4 steals per game. Bazil has always been aggressive as a coach since he's begun taking over for the Skunks. They are not scared to play the game of pilfering. Next pitch is low and inside for a 1-1 count.
And that's something we love to see in baseball. We love to see the players run in, stealing the bases rather than them just standing around. Makes the game just more exciting to watch.
That's why I'm happy in the MLB they made the bases a little bigger, 3 square inches bigger.
Yep. And with that new pitch clock, too, it makes the game a little faster, more exciting to watch.
There was actually a game early in the year that was a little over 2 hours, as the next pitch is called a strike, making the count 1-2. So, Catalano in scoring position after walking and stealing a base. Prince ahead in the count 1-2. Here's the pitch, and this one's going in the shallow right, but Leadham will get there, and Catalano will stay put at second, and Rodriguez wasn't quite able to make the catch, but it slow rolled over to the third base area, so again, Catalano will stay put. And now it'll be Jake Kernodle, the DH.
Yeah, Kernodle reached base on a hit scored here at the stadium, but both Norm and I scored it in error because it went off of the right fielder's glove out there. Not slighting the right fielder at all. Just we both felt that it should have been scored in error, but they didn't do it here, so we'll call it a hit with an asterisk. Norm, how's that?
Quote unquote.
All the same, Kernodle also scored the second run for Jamestown as well. Runner's going to go. They might get him.
He's got an open lane. Did he get there? Yes. So credit Catalano with an unconventional steal there, and that's number 5.
Yeah, so Catalano almost would have been caught up there at between second and third, but that throw from the pitcher over to third base was a little errant, pulled the third baseman off of the bag, and he thought he might have Catalano on a rundown. Catalano heads up there, saw that the third baseman was thrown off the bag, and just immediately ran back over to third and got there just in time.
Infield playing deep, anticipating a butt, but Kernodle will swing and miss for a strike. And I like the idea because the infield's playing so deep, there's going to be open lanes, and all he's got to do is just aim it in fair territory in one of them, and Catalano can score the tying run. Next pitch, though, outside corner for strike 2.
Yeah, Kernodle's looking to get a sacrifice fly at this point here, and the infield playing in. They want to prevent the runner from getting to home.
Well, here's the 0-2. That one just a bit inside, 1-2, and that was dangerously close.
Yeah, that was really close to hitting that inside edge, but it was a ball, so 1-2 the count here. Kernodle's got to protect, though. Let's see what happens with this pitch from Prince.
And he'll foul it off.
Kernodle staying alive.
Yes, he is. Makes you want to crank up Saturday Night Fever, the Bee Gees.
Please don't. Never been a Bee Gees fan. I'm probably the only person in America that doesn't like the Bee Gees, but
I'm not a super fan, but they got a few good
it's
ones.
It's the falsetto voice that kind of gets to me.
Let's see if Kernodle can get to start a joke on Prince, but the joke's on Kernodle as he strikes out for a big out number 2, and Juwan, who does have an RBI, he'll look for number 2 right here.
Well, Jamestown has left 2 runners on base through 2 innings. They don't want to make a third, especially with the runner being just 90 feet away from scoring. Here's a quick throw from Prince.
Outside ball 1.
And so Juwan with the 1-0 count, as Norm noted, he was able to get a double in the first inning, driving in a run.
That one skips in the dirt for a ball, but Mortellaro, a nice block there, and makes the count 2-0.
Haven't seen any pass balls from Prince so far, right?
No, Mortellaro's done pretty well behind the dish in support.
Yeah, and Prince doesn't really have a wild arm either. I mean, obviously he's thrown some balls and we've seen some walks, but nothing too crazy.
Well, here's the 2-0. Another one that's in the dirt, ball 3. So should Juwan get walked or get on base, it is Matt Thompson that will be due up next. So far, though, for Prince, he'll look to get the third out. He's got 4 strikeouts as the next pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. It is still a hitter's count, though, and Juwan's got that green light. And that one called outside, ball 4. So runners at the corners with 2 outs. And now it'll be Matt Thompson who is going to come up the bat.
Yeah, Matt Thompson struck out looking the last time he was at the plate. We've got a bit of a meeting here on the mound here as the players for Batavia go out to talk to their pitcher, Preston Prince. Preston Prince, by the way, starting today. He's from Hilton, New York. And as Norm noted at the start of the broadcast, he's from Niagara University, 6'4", 205 sophomore. So far, so good for Preston Prince, giving up just 2 runs here and only 3 hits through 2 2/3 inning. So I don't think they're ready to yank him yet. We don't see any action in the bullpen. This is really just an effort to calm him down and put up a strategy to ensure that there isn't a run that's going to cross the plate and tie this one back up. If you're just joining us, it is the Tarp Skunks hosting the Batavia Muckdogs, and the score right now in the bottom of the 3rd is 3-2. Batavia leading the Skunks. Jamestown came out on top first in the first inning. It was 2-0. The Muckdogs scored a run in the 2nd inning, making it 2-1. And then here in the top of the 3rd, they scored 2 more to take the lead, and it's 3-2 now in the early stages here. Still not even a third of the way through this ball game.
So Thompson coming up the bat for the 2nd time, and he'll look to get a hit to tie this game back up. Catalano, the runner at 3rd, Juwan at 1st. Next pitch is slightly outside for a ball, making it 1-0. And the way Catalano was right there on 3rd trying to take that lead, I was wondering if it was going to be home steal part due. But here's the 1-0 on the way, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, and Catalano's feigning like he's going to take home, and that's just probably try to get in the pitcher's head a little bit to throw him off of his game. But that was a nice pitch there, making the count 1-1.
And there is activity going on actually in Jamestown's bullpen as of right now, as the pickoff to 1st is not in time.
Prince throwing over to 1st, and Catalano thought better of getting the home, and I think the ball would have probably gotten back to home in plenty of time there. So good job by Catalano to stay put at 3rd.
1-1 pitch on the way. That one outside, and it was a semi-pitch out. Can Juwan stay alive long enough? Catalano does score, and Juwan will be tagged out. And because the run scored before the 3rd out occurred, the run does count, and we're tied up at 3s after 3 innings. 4th coming up on WRFA.
We play 3 innings here at Diethrick Park with the score tied at 3. Our next outfield game is going to give a fan a lucky chance to win some great prizes. Cole, you have all the details. Thank you, Jerry. I'm down here with and today's Cameron's 9th birthday. So let's hear it for him. Happy birthday, Cameron. Cameron is going to play our deal or no deal game. Right here with these 4 cases. Pick 2 cases to get rid of. Which one do you want to throw out? 3 and 4, goodbye. Thank you, Mallory. Now we just got Parker over here. Okay, now we still got one. Now we have 1 and 2 left. Out of these 2 cases, which one do you want? You want number 2. Number 4, show number 2. Are you sure you don't want number 1? You want 2. Let's see what's behind 2. A pair of Tarp Skunks tickets for the birthday boy. Congratulations, Jeremy. Back to you.
And we're about to momentarily start the top of the 4th inning, and the Skunks able to tie the game. It was a bit of an unusual way, as there was a rundown by Juwan trying to go for 1st or 2nd. However, great hustle by Catalano. He was able to score before the 3rd out happened, and because he hit home before that occurred, the run counted, and we're tied up at 3s.
Yeah, that was maybe by design. I think Coach Bazil was willing to trade off that 3rd out if it meant getting a run to tie this one up here. So the strategy was to try to get Batavia to go toward 1st base with Henry Juwan and get him in a rundown. Juwan buying his teammate just enough time to reach home plate and then getting the out there. So good team effort there, and a good job by Juwan to stall as much as possible. Catalano getting across the plate, and now we got a tie ball game here and a brand new frame to go. Top of the 4th inning, all tied up at 3 apiece. Jamestown hosting Batavia.
And it will be Arcuri coming up the bat, and his first appearance, he's singled and scored one of the runs that was back in the 2nd inning, and there is activity actually going on for reel in Jamestown's bullpen. It is the veteran of the group, Ryan Rafalski, warming up. The third-year skunk might as well put a star on his hat and be the general. And Arcuri was able to get on first.
Yeah, we still haven't given Arcuri's season numbers yet, because that was both times he swung and hit the first pitch that he saw, and both times he reached base. That was another single, so he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles here. He scored the first run for Batavia back in the second inning as well, and he's on board now with no outs over at first. Here's a throw from Chafee over to first to try to keep Arcuri a little on the honest side. Don't give him too much of a leadoff. Meanwhile, we've got Matt DeStefano, the left fielder, who grounded out in the second inning, advanced Arcuri in that at-bat.
And this one going over into shallow right and drops foul.
Yeah, about 2 feet foul. Not by much, and that might be good news there, because I don't know if Jamestown's right fielder, Drew Garth, would have been able to get over there in time had it have dropped right on the foul line or just over to the left of it. All the same, the count is now 0-1 with a runner at first and no outs, top of the 4th inning.
And Arcuri flanking out like a 70s receiver at first base as the next pitch was outside and low for ball 1. Wonder if he's trying to show the shades of those classic receivers like Cliff Branch, putting that hand down, and looks like he's about to do a sprint without the baton in his hand.
Yeah, it was that Don Hudson out there. It was like an old split end formation, lining up in a 3-point stance almost.
But Chafee, though, southpaw, he could look right at him. That one's hit to deep left center. Catalano chasing under it. He'll make the catch. So big hustle there by Catalano, and showing how he got the 2 steals with those golden wheels, and a long out number 1. And now it is going to be Mortellaro, the catcher, up the bat. And even though he grounded out his first appearance, he did drive in an RBI.
Yeah, he's the one who drove in Giuseppe Arcuri back in the second inning to score that first run for Batavia. 1 of 3 runs here. So number 44, Bryce Mortellaro, the catcher, now trying to advance his runner again with just 1 out here and a runner at first.
Chavee's next pitch is fouled off to the backstop for a strike 1. Pretty much so far it's been a mix of a pitcher's duel and some decent offensive production. Score is tied here at 3. The only difference is the Muckdogs have 2 hits more, 5 over 3. 0-1 pitch, and Arcuri tried to head to second, and he's going to get nailed. Q Jane's addiction on that one. He got caught stealing.
That was Chafee all the way there, doing that quick throw over to first, and Arcuri was flat-footed. He advanced down to second, but couldn't get there in time. Great job by the Skunks defense, getting the only runner on board off the base path. That is out number 2 as well with that caught stealing. And now nobody on. 2 outs here against Mortellaro.
Next pitch by Chafee, and outside corner, strike 2.
Two best teams currently in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League's Western Division, duking it out here at Diethrick Park.
And fouled off to the skunk bullpen, or the dugout, excuse me, but the players that it was near, they were sitting in the dugout, so no harm, no foul, nobody got hurt. So again, Chafee ahead in the count, 0-2. Here comes the next pitch. Outside, 1-2, but again, Chafee is ahead in the count, and sometimes when you're ahead 0-2, it doesn't hurt to throw a waste pitch, see if they chase. 1-2 on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3, and for Chafee, that's strikeout number 6. Score remains tied 3-3, and once again, we're going to shift it over to Will.
Support for the WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group is celebrating over 50 years serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown community with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. All repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and WRFA. For more information, call 866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com.
Once again, Will, thank you very much, as we're tied up here at threes in the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's going to be the 5 through 7 hitters due up: Thompson, Gagnon, and Munoz. Thompson was actually up the bat back in the bottom of the third, but wasn't able to complete it because Juwan got caught playing a little piggy in the middle. That's how Catalano scored the tying run. So for Thompson, it will be a fresh at bat with a fresh count.
Evan Chafee looking really good pitching, but so is Preston Prince. I mean, we've got a pretty good pitcher's duel here. One giving up 5 hits, that would be Chafee, but he's got the 6 strikeouts. Prince, I don't think he has nearly as many strikeouts. I've got him for 4 strikeouts so far to go along with 4 walks on the game and giving up 3 hits, but not bad considering what we saw yesterday in the matinee game where you mentioned nearly 20 walks between the two teams.
Yeah.
Much better pitching here as far as we've seen in the early stages, still only 3.5 innings into the ball game, but we've got ourselves a good one on our hands here, as you would expect with the 2 top teams in the division, and right now it's tied 3 runs apiece. Jamestown now with a chance to retake the lead here in the bottom of the 4th frame. We'll see what happens as we get the batter ready to approach the plate. It'll be number 20, Matt Thompson. And then Kieran Gagnon is on deck. Thompson struck out looking his first plate appearance.
And he'll look to start it off getting onto first base and look for his first hit of the game. As Prince's next pitch, it's going to be a bunt. It's going to go around the vicinity of the pitcher. Pirouette throw, not in time! And that's going to be, I think that's going to be ruled an infield single for Matt Thompson. And a bit of some wild throws there, turning into a comedy of errors. And even so, Thompson is safe at first. I do believe, again, they're going to call that a hit because Thompson was close enough to first.
Oh, yeah, he definitely wheeled that one in there. Give Prince credit for at least trying to quickly make the throw, but that little spinorama he did there really didn't help his cause any. Way off base from the first baseman. Even if it would have arrived before Speedy Thompson got there, it wouldn't have been caught. All the same, it was a hit. And another bunt being shown by Gagnon here at his first plate appearance, but that will go as a strike. So 0-1 the count against Kieran Gagnon, who grounded out back in the first inning.
Speaking of that, he gets back into the box and went for a bunt the last pitch and missed, like you mentioned. And Thompson, the runner, on first, and here's a pickoff, but gets back in safely. Only had about a 3-4 step lead off the bag. Next pitch on the way by Prince, and that one slightly outside for a ball, making it 1-1.
Nice little change up there. I mean, Prince has been throwing a lot of heat here, so you want to keep the batter's timing off by giving him that change up once in a while.
Next pitch, and this could be 2. 6, 4, 3, double play. So the Muckdogs do respond, and 6-4-3 double play, and from my view, both runners were indeed out.
I'm going to say the first base was really close, Norm. It looked like they arrived both times. You really got to see the instant replay. First base coach for Jamestown also not happy about that. He had the best view next to the umpire, maybe even had a better view. His feeling is that Kieran Gagnon had just beat the throw, and where I'm at, it looked that way as well. It could go either way, but it was definitely bang-bang. We don't have the luxury of instant replay either.
Yeah, even if it would have been, because usually if it's bang-bang, the call usually would stand. As the first pitch hit the zone for strike 1, and Munoz, swings and misses for strike 2, and he's looking to go 2 for 2. He singled in his first appearance. Prince's next pitch, though, that one's a blooper, and making the catch there in short is Rodriguez, and that's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning, and score remains tied at 3 after 4 complete. 5th coming up in a moment after this on WRFA.
Next up, we have a new game that involves skill.
The Red continues on Wednesday, July 12th, with
All right, thank you, Jerry. Brand new game, never played before. We call it Dizzy Ball. So we got Jay and Paxton down here.
How you doing, Will? All right?
Yeah, doing good.
Kind of don't have any stats to give after the first time we're on the batting order,
okay.
right?
They're each going to pick up a ball. While you're dizzy, the first one is
Feel free to chime in if you notice anything,
Yeah, I will.
on or off the field.
See how this goes. Jay, are you ready?
We do have some action over in the bullpen. Normally get out the
Yep.
binoculars.
You can't go any closer to the basket than 8, so anything behind you, you can shoot. 5 spins, Paxton, are you ready? All right, in 3, 2,
I got
1,
34.
start as fast as you can. We're going to go. Jay's on 2, 3, 4. Take that shot. All right, there it is. That was a little easier than we thought.
All right, so top of the fifth about to start, and during the break, we were able to see with the binoculars that Jason has and use them at the right time. Isidro Jimenez is the pitcher warming up in the bullpen, and so is Ben Weber, number 19. And Jimenez, he's actually the only player for Batavia that is not a U.S. citizen. He's from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. He goes to Stillman College, a right-hander, and meanwhile, Weber, he's from Rockaway, New Jersey, and he's a tall guy, 6'6", 210-pound right-hander who goes to Salve Regina University. But right now, the batters due up are going to be 8 through 10, Falcon, Hetherington, and Rodriguez.
Evan Chafee in there for his 5th inning of work. Delivers a strike. He's got 6 strikeouts so far to go along with 2 walks and 5 hits through 4 innings, and giving up 3 runs.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. So Chafee already ahead in the count 0-2, looking for lucky number 7. And he got it right down the heart of the plate. 7 a winner, 7 strikeouts for Chafee in just 4 1/3 innings. And second time Falcon has been rung up, and now it'll be Kyle Hetherington, the center fielder.
Hetherington got a base hit back in the 3rd inning to start off that 3rd inning. He also scored the 2nd run. Got a stolen base in there as well. Got another lefty versus lefty matchup here between Chafee and Hetherington.
And this one fouled off for a strike. And in his first appearance, Hetherington, he actually singled, stole a base, and also scored a run.
And I think one thing we're seeing from Chafee out of here is he's not letting the nerves get to him. Even though he's got 5 hits, 3 runs against him, he's not letting those get to him. So he's playing really well out here. He's pitching the ball right where it needs to be.
And he's up in the count again here. 0-2 the count now after 2 consecutive fouls over the press box here. And Hetherington.
Yeah, both foul balls are around the same vicinity, almost a deja vu moment. That one, though, Poe goes in the dirt, but again, Juwan, great job with that block. And
Hetherington at risk of being the 8th strikeout victim from Chafee. 1-2 the count.
let's see if Chafee does get the strikeout. He's shaking off a couple of signs, but he's got the one he wants. And another one that Poe goes in the dirt, just a bit outside, but no runners on base, no harm, no foul, just an even count 2-2. So Hetherington making Chafee work here. The last 2 pitches staying disciplined, not swinging. Here's the 2-2. Third in a row that's in the dirt, and we might as well get a pogo stick the way these are going. Makes the count full.
Yeah, he definitely had a couple of throwaway pitches, and we saw 2 of them there. I wouldn't say the third one was necessarily a throwaway pitch, but here we are, 3-2 count.
Payoff fouled off, so Hetherington will see another one. Here comes another payoff on the way for Chafee. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts, and how about a turkey for Chafee? His 3rd straight strikeout carrying over from the 4th inning.
And before this game, Chafee had 11 strikeouts going in, and now he's already at 9. So who knows if he can, increase those numbers and get beyond 11 in just one game.
Well, speaking of that, Will, he's 3 strikes away from actually doubling his total. He does have 8 in just 4 2/3 innings. I think they may have possibly found the guy to fill the void for DeMarco as the next pitch is inside ball 1 with the count being 1-0.
Yeah, the pitch against Hetherington that got him out was a hard breaking ball, and that's typically what you'll see with a lefty versus lefty. The advantage usually goes with the pitcher in that breaking ball, and we saw it there with that strikeout. Back to the action at the plate here. 2 consecutive balls makes it a 2-0 count with 2 outs, no runners on here in the top of the 5th inning.
Speaking of that, Rodriguez, like Hetherington, he got on by a single, also stole a base and scored a run. Here's a 2-0 by Chafee. It's going to be over to first Monroe. Oh, it goes through his legs, Bill Buckner style. But I do believe that's going to be a single because it went between his legs. From my view, it looked like it didn't hit his glove. But that could have been worse. Even so, the runner is on first. We're still waiting to see, though. I believe that's going to be possibly ruled a hit. We're just waiting for what it puts on the board. A lot of the times, it's at discretion.
I'll say error. Let's find out here.
Well, if it's
Definitely
an error,
could have
I
been clean.
understand.
It could have been cleanly fielded. Monroe was all the way down. Well, they gave him a hit. So that's 6 hits now. Maybe I'm just a hard judge, I guess. That first pitch against the next batter was a strike, and we're back to Rodriguez, right? No, that was Rodriguez who got the hit. So
yes.
Leadham now back at the top of the order. Leadham walked in the first inning and struck out in the 3rd.
And he fouls off the next pitch for a strike.
So they gave him a base hit there.
Interesting.
Well, you said it was probably a hit. I thought Cooper Monroe had plenty of time to get down and stop that ball from going between his legs, but obviously it didn't happen.
Yeah, the only reason why I thought that was because from my view it looked like it didn't even touch his glove. It just went underneath it and between the legs. But the count is 0-2 in favor for Chafee. And if he can get a strikeout here, that'll be 9 in this game. He gets the sign from Juwan, checking Rodriguez at first. Here's the pitch. It's hot shot over the 3rd, but it goes foul. So far, again, a 3-3 tie here. Only difference is the hit column. Muckdogs have 6, Skunks have 4, but you just need enough. You don't need a lot as long as you have the lead and get the win at the end of the day.
Chafee up in the count again, too. 0-2 here against Leadham. Threatening to strike him out for the 2nd time. Instead, he throws over to first to keep Rodriguez honest and close to the bag.
Again, Leadham very dangerous on the base pad, so should he get on base, you got to look out. Here's the 0-2. Just a tad upstairs, ball 1.
Yeah, that was very close to being strike 3, but not quite getting in the strike zone there. A little bit lower, he probably would have had it.
Count though 1-2. Here's the next pitch. That one low and outside. 2-2 count, 2 outs. What I like to call the triple deuce. So Leadham making Chafee work here to have 5 complete innings of work. Here's the next pitch. Upstairs, runner goes, but Juwan, I think, didn't have a clean handle of the ball, so he'll pocket it. Better to just bite it than give up a bad throw.
It actually didn't have anybody covering second either, so he had to clutch and hold on to that one and eat it because he didn't have anybody in position to make the throw on to second. I think it's actually what happened there, Norm. You kind of had the look of what gives body language going on there.
And there is actually correction that Rodriguez, that has been ruled an E3, so the hit was taken off, and that's going to be ruled an error.
Well, I guess I was right then. It was an E3 with Monroe, the first baseman for Jamestown. Jamestown can get out of this, though, unscathed if they can get this final out. 2 outs already with a runner at second.
Payoff pitch is upstairs, though, ball 4. So it's 2nd time Leadham has been walked. Now it will be Lucas Lopez, and I'm sure Chafee wouldn't mind giving Lopez a hat trick of being struck out.
Yeah, he struck out looking in the first inning and then struck out swinging in the 3rd inning, and Jamestown needs him to strike out here to prevent the Muckdogs from taking the lead. It's 3-3 here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Evan Chafee, the pitcher for Jamestown.
Next pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Lopez looking to keep the inning alive. A base hit could possibly drive home Rodriguez. He is the runner on second. He got on by that E3 a little bit ago, and runners are going, and the ball goes near between Juwan's legs, and another double steal, the second one for Batavia. So for Leadham, that's steal number 24, and Rodriguez, he adds a steal, and he's also got 2 now as well.
Yeah, that double steal took place the first time back in the 3rd inning, and the Muckdogs capitalized and ended up scoring a couple of runs with those runners in scoring position. If you remember, Norm, of course, that was before they had 2 outs. Here we are with 2 outs, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Jamestown can still get out of this with this final out here, but the force out is obviously gone. That's been taken off of the table here, so they got to try to either get a strikeout or a fly out or even a ground out.
Next pitch, that one hits the outside corner, strike 2, count goes even. Chafee looking to just keep this a tie game, and before that, fans, we've hit the top of the hour. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York. Triple deuces on the board, 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch by Chafee, and it's going to go over to third. Thompson fields it. Throw over to Monroe in time, and Chafee gets out of the jam, and he'll put that on his toast. And that's 4.5 complete at Diethrick, and the score tied at 3. And once again, Will, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball is brought to you in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authored and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses. It also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses, and it offers businesses assistance in the form of low-interest loans and bond financing, all of which enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900. Again, that is 716-661-8900, or visit ccida.com.
Will, again, thank you very much, and I'll say it again, it's great to have you back up in the press box up here with Jason and I, as we are deadlocked here at 3.
It's good to be back. Another great night for baseball. So
nice and brisk.
Yeah. Nothing better.
So I'll ask you this: we've only seen you up here a couple of times. What do you think of being up here in the press box checking out a baseball game? To me, it's the best spot in the house.
Yeah, I think this is a great spot to really see the game. You can take in every aspect, seeing the fans, seeing the players, seeing everybody in the bullpen. So it's just another, it's like a bird's eye view, as somebody would say. So it's really great. Another great spot up here. So I was starting to like it up here. So I could definitely see myself up here more.
Well, we got a plethora of games coming up this weekend. It's gonna be a fun week. We got a couple of doubleheaders coming up in the next week and change, but right now it is Drew Garth looking to make the Thunder roll with his bat. Here's the next pitch by Prince, and that one in the inside corner for strike 1.
You're in your glory tonight, Norm. You've got a pitcher who is maybe the same name as one of the biggest pop stars in history.
Also an underrated guitarist, as it's a grounder over to third, throw to first in time, and quick out number 1 there.
Underrated to who? Because I would tell you, most guitarists will tell you that Prince was the real deal as a guitarist.
Well, yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of, I think he's underrated as a guitarist because he's more well known for his singing abilities.
Oh, yeah. I had a chance to see Prince once in Pittsburgh back in 1998.
I'm jealous.
It was a phenomenal show.
I believe it. Next pitch called a strike. It's Cooper Monroe that's up to bat. He'll look for a better result than his first one, as he struck out in his first appearance, and he's the tallest skunk on the team at 6'6", as the next one skips in the dirt for a ball, 1-1 with 1 out, the triple sticks. So Prince collecting the thoughts at the rubber. Next pitch on the way, swinging a miss, strike 2. I'll say it again, though, it's pretty encouraging and admirable to see batters that are not scared to swing. It just shows that they're hungry. This one outside, 2-2, so good patience there by Monroe, and That one just a tad on the outside. Counts even. Next pitch by Prince. That one in the dirt, ball 3. Count goes full.
Payoff pitch coming up here against Cooper Monroe with 1 out. Jamestown trying to get back in the lead here. They had the lead through the first 2 innings. Batavia took the lead in the 3rd inning.
Next pitch, this one's popped up. And second baseman called for it, and he'll make the catch for the first out. So good communication there by Art Curie.
Second out.
Or second out, I beg your pardon. Yeah, I forgot to put the out mark on my book. So
yeah,
it threw me off.
happened quickly with Garth there. We were too busy talking about pop culture and musicians.
Yeah.
And we totally forgot to keep our
carried
scorecard
away.
there. Yeah, it happens.
Well, yeah, I actually had it written down. It's just I forgot to put the slash mark on the out circle.
Connor Bendick, the second baseman, stepping up now. He struck out looking back in the 2nd inning.
And that one chopped, but he thought it was foul, may have hit off his foot, but it's going to be called the 3rd out, so.
Yeah, he's he's pointing to his foot, too, and the umpire here is going to have a word with the first base umpire. The Batavia Muckdogs were looking to clear. Now they called it out, so that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Batavia here in the bottom of the 5th. And that'll do it after 5 innings of play. We have a tied ball game, 3-3. Jamestown locked up with Batavia. We'll have inning 6 in a moment on WRFA. What was that, Garth? Was that a ground out from to 3rd or short? Garth, did he ground out? 5-3. Thank you.
Yeah, these things are a lifesaver.
I got more, too.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me you were going to get more.
Down in that bag, there's 2 more books.
Has everything the radio has and more. Leave me alone, I'm listening.
Yeah, I think it just makes us sound better.
Voice the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA-LP. Tune in for live play-by-play action for each home game right here on your community radio station. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit WRFALP.com/uskunks. See you at the ballpark.
And the top of the 6th about to start, and the Skunks have made a call to the bullpen. It's the general of the team, the 3-year veteran, Ryan Rafalski, on the rubber for Jamestown. And even though Chafee will be saddled with a no decision, phenomenal performance. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. And again, it's Ryan Rafalski on the rubber, and he has gotten better every year that he has been a Skunk.
Yeah, getting back to Evan Chafee here, he had, as Norm noted, 8 strikeouts, giving up 5 hits, scattering just 3 runs in the 2nd and 3rd inning, and also just 3 walks. So all in all, you can't ask for more from your starting pitcher than to keep the run count down, get plenty of strikeouts, and not a lot of walks. We saw 3 walks, but, you know, for collegiate baseball, that's not surprising. When you start getting up into the double digits, you get a little worried there. But, hey, he was averaging nearly just 1 walk every 2 innings. We'll take that all day, and you're going to see some hits here and there. So a great effort by Evan Chafee. As you noted, a no decision here with the game still locked up at 3-3, but with Rafalski coming in here, Jamestown is in good hands with Rafalski. We'll see what he can do here to keep the Muckdogs bats quiet as we are about ready to begin the 6th inning of play.
And speaking of Rafalski, it's his 7th appearance of the year. He has started 1 game. He's worked 16 in the 3rd innings, and there have been 17 hits allowed, 10 runs, but 7 were earned. His walk to strikeout 1.5 to 1. 12 walks to 18 strikeouts, ERA of 3.86. And yeah, I apologize, Will, didn't mean to steal your thunder there. But we do got the 3 through 5 hitters due up, Agresti, Acelta, and Arcuri. And before this at bat, I got to say, though, Will, this has been a pretty good game.
Yeah, this has been a close game. I think we couldn't have wished for anything better. You know, through 5 innings, still tied 3-3. So it's nothing better than this.
And Rafalski's first pitch at the outside corner for a strike. Agresti has gotten on base in both appearances as the next pitch is outside for a ball, evening the count.
Rafalski, obviously a different pitcher than Evan Chafee, not only because he has a different name and a different build, but he also throws right-handed compared to the lefty that we saw earlier. We'll see if it'll take time for the Muckdogs bats to adjust to this new pitcher.
Next one's low, making the count 2-1, and Agresti in his 2 at-bats, he's gotten on 2 different ways. He got walked in his first one, then had a single in his second one that drove in 2 RBIs. 2-1 by Rafalski, swung on and missed, count goes even.
We talked about number 23, Adam Agresti, being one of the best hitters in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Also, once he gets on base, he's good at stealing as well. Not as many stolen bases as Leadham, but he's known to take a bag or 2.
Next one's fouled off for the backstop, count stays even.
He does have 3 stolen bases on the season, so he's known to steal one every now and then.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't as many as I thought. I must have been reading somebody else's stat line. Thanks for the correction, Will.
Yep, no problem. He's still up there. He's still tied with a couple people, so.
And that one's into shallow right. Garth chasing it down, and he will make the catch, finding the baseball in low places, having to cover some field, but able to make the catch for the first out.
So extra hitter James Aselta now stepping up to the plate. He struck out in the first inning by Evan Chafee, and then he flew out to center field to end the 3rd inning. Here we are with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning, nobody on. Game all tied up at 3 apiece. Rafalski, the Warren County, Pennsylvania native, against Aselta.
And the next pitch is low for a ball, and not only is he from Warren, he also plays for Mercyhurst in Erie. 1-0 pitch coming up on the way. Outside corner, count goes even at 1s. One pitch on the way by Rafalski, and inside corner, strike 2.
Judging by the body language of Aselta, you would have thought that was well inside, but maybe it had a little bit of a break to it, and Aselta misjudged it. And the last second, it curved back in across the plate.
Or it could be a Razzie Award for worst performance in a drama, as the next pitch is outside, evening the count at 2s. Throw went over to short, but again, nobody on base, so no harm, no foul. Counts even at 2s, and Rafalski looking for his first strikeout of the game. And here comes the next pitch. That one a hot shot down left field, a base hit. So for Aselta, his first hit of the game, the 6th for Batavia as a team, and now it will be Giuseppe Arcuri, who has been one of the bright spots for Batavia.
Yeah, Arcuri got a base hit in the 2nd inning and a base hit back in the 4th inning, so he's 2 for 2. Has a chance to help his team out here, and I think we did get a designated runner over on first base now, Norm, after that hit from number 27, Aselta.
Okay, I've got the roster ready for when we're able to see the numbers, so it's going to be a, I only heard of one designated runner that was ever in the, well, first off, you did notice it was number 2, that's Christian Bernardini. He's from Manalapan, New Jersey, and goes to St. John's. That's actually also the school that Chafee is working on going to, and he's a freshman, so one of the youngsters for Batavia. Pick off, but back in safely. So, Will, got a quick question for you. With him being the pinch runner, how many steals does he have on the season?
He has, if I can find his name on here.
That's a swing and a miss from the batter that Rafalski is facing, Arcuri.
He has, let's see. He has 0 stolen bases, but, you know, tonight might be his first game to get one.
Well, the Skunks are hoping otherwise, but you never know.
Never know
You
what's
never
gonna
know.
happen.
In the meantime, we've got a, I think it's a 1-1 count. Maybe it's 0-1. I thought we've had 2 pitches against Arcuri.
Well, here's the next one by Rafalski. That one skips in the dirt. So at the minimum, we know it's at least 1-1. Sometimes it is a bit delayed.
Well, I'm waiting for the umpire to show the count, but I'm pretty sure that maybe it is just 1-1.
Yeah, there was also a pickoff attempt, too, on Bernardini. Here's another pickoff. It gets back in safely. Count even here 1-1 with one out, and Bernardini, again, just a minute ago, came in for a Celta as the pinch runner. Next pitch on the way, and it gets by Juwan, and Bernardini's going to head over to second, and he'll be safe.
Well, that would be his first stolen base of the season, Will. You're rather prophetic there. And
I might have just jinxed it, but, you know, there he goes. First one of the season for him.
Even so, though, he's just at second base. The score is still tied up at 3, and there is one out in Rafalski's favor. So he's got a chance still to get out of this and keep this deadlocked. And the next pitch fouled off, evens the count 2-2.
So Bernardini is now on second base with one out here. Meanwhile, the count is now 2-2 against Giuseppe Arcuri, the second baseman, who is 2 for 2 on the night so far, trying to make it 3 for 3. Ryan Rafalski, the pitcher for Jamestown, has other ideas, and Arcuri is going to call a quick time here to regain himself. Number 88, as Norm noted, somewhat of a odd number, even number, but odd to see a baseball player wearing number 88.
Indeed, as this one's fouled off and going over the top of the lighting fixture, and the count will stay 2-2. And yeah, I meant to say, when you were saying designated runner, there was actually only one MLB player that was actually known for that. This was back in the 70s. His name was Herb Washington.
I said designated runner. I meant pinch runner, but designated runner was something we would use in softball, in my Sunday softball league for years. So I use that term interchangeably with pinch runner. But same difference.
Now, I've heard the term before. It's not unusual. But counts even here at 2-2. Rafalski looking to at least get the second out. Here's the pitch. Upstairs and inside. Count goes full.
I think with a designated runner, the player is allowed to return to the field after they leave the field on offense. Whereas with a pinch runner, that runner will then go out to the field to play, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, here's the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Rafalski, and now it's going to be Matt DiStefano, the left fielder, who will be looking for his first hit of the game.
Yeah, DiStefano grounded out in the second inning and flew out in the fourth inning. So we got 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning against the Batavia Muckdogs. Jamestown again trying to get out of this. Batavia, by the way, has left 3 runners on base so far through 5 innings, leaving them stranded.
Next pitch by Rafalski, swing and a miss, strike 1. Looked like DiStefano wanted to get that one out of the ballpark, but he's feeling the breeze in his face from that bat.
And with that first strikeout, that moves him into 19 on the season, so only 2 behind Ayers.
Yeah, speaking of Ayers, he was actually credited with the win yesterday in their win over the Geneva Red Wings. He worked solid innings. He worked about 3. Even though he gave up a home run in the 9th, it was just a solo home run, and he leads the team in wins. He's 3-1. But Rafalski looking to keep this a tie game here. 0-2 pitch, upstairs, 1-2.
Yeah, good throwaway pitch there. Obviously, when you're up in the count, 0-2. Try to get the batter to chase something ugly there, but number 45, Matt DiStefano, not doing that. We'll see what happens here with the 1-2 count.
Rafalski is still heading the count, though, so nothing to be urgent about, and that's another strikeout. Rafalski ends the inning with back-to-back Ks, and score remains tied at 3 after 5.5 complete. And once again, Will, I'm going to shift it over to you.
Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution, a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that comes alive each summer with a unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater and musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship, programs, and recreational activities. The 2023 season features Patti LaBelle, the Revivalist, Band of Horses, Trombone Shorty, Mavis Staples, and many more artists to come. Chautauqua Institution. For more information, call 1-800-836-ARTS. That is 1-800-836-2787. Or visit discover.chq.org for more information.
All right, Will, once again, thank you very much. Prince is going to stay on the mound for another inning of work, and roughly a couple of innings ago, there were a couple of pitchers warming up for Batavia. Jimenez and Weber were warming up, but seems like Prince is good to at least go at another inning, and the batters due up for Jamestown. It's going to be the top of the order. It's going to be Catalano, Googins, and Cronodal.
Yeah, a chance for Jamestown to crack this one open, getting back to the top of the order, and this will be the third time these batters have seen Preston Prince, the starting pitcher. And every time you see the pitcher, you might pick up something new and increases your likelihood of possibly getting a hit here. So maybe this will be the inning where Jamestown can retake the lead, having the lead back in the first and second inning before giving it up in the third inning and then tying it up in the bottom of the third. And it's been deadlocked ever since then. Here we are at the bottom of the sixth inning. Now the score is still 3-3. Hey, great job by the Jamestown pitchers so far, though, because they've given up 6 hits, but not a lot of walks, as we talked about. That's key. And also 10 strikeouts between Rafalski and the starting pitcher, Evan Chafee. So they're doing their part to try to keep the team in it, giving up just 3 runs. And now the bats have to come alive for Jamestown here. You have 4 hits so far tonight against the pitcher, Preston Prince. I think he's given up 5 walks.
Next pitch is fouled off for a strike, and with you saying that, Jason, in both at-bats for Catalano, both of them have been walks. And he scored runs on both of them, and he's also stolen 2 bases.
Correction, I've got 4 walks so far given up by Preston Prince.
Well, here's the 0-1. Next pitch inside, evens the count 1-1.
Catalano has got 2 of those 4 walks. We'll see if he walks again for the third time in as many plate appearances.
Next one swings and misses. Count goes 1-2. Again, so far, Prince, from what I see, has got 4 strikeouts. 1-2 pitch. There's number 5 right there as Catalano swung and missed. And now it will be Tommy Googins, the shortstop, part of that Princeton Ivy League quartet, one of the 4 players that goes there.
Yeah, Googins walked in the first inning and then flew out to right field in the third inning. So if you look at Preston Prince's numbers, he walked the first 2 batters he faced in this ball game and has only given up 2 walks since then, both of those occurring in the third inning.
Next pitch hits the outside corner for a strike, making the count 0-1. And what looked like was going to be a bit of offense in the first few innings, it's turned into a classic pitcher's duel, and those are always fun to watch and broadcast.
Yeah, you know, the game goes a lot faster. Which I don't mind, being an early riser as well, usually getting up at about 5:30 every morning. But I like a good pitching duel as well.
1-1 pitch is low for ball 2. And, Will, I want to ask you this really quickly. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a high-scoring game, or do you prefer the pitcher's duel?
I would say a little bit of both. I like to see the high-scoring games, you know, see the batters moving, you know, people getting hits, score going high, but nothing beats a pitcher's duel, you know. At a low-scoring game, you know, bottom of the 9th, these pitchers are still going at it. So it's always great to see, and it's always entertaining to have that duel between the pitchers to see who can, you know, come out on top and bring their team to victory.
Googins, by the way, grounded out there for the second out for Jamestown, a 6-3 ground out. So just to keep the listeners back home informed, we now have 2 outs here with Jake Cordodal, the designated hitter, stepping up to the plate. He reached base on a hit back in the first inning that we called an error, and he struck out in the third inning.
And the next pitch was outside for a ball. But I can understand what Will said, though. A little bit of both never hurts. And 1-0 pitch, though, on the way, hits the outside corner, and it's even at ones.
Hey, you go to a baseball game, you almost want to see at least one home run or a triple or something like that. So I like a little bit of action as well. I mean, I don't always want to see Randy Johnson versus Greg Maddux every time,
That would be awesome to watch.
Every time we go to a ball game. But the pitcher duels are nice to see once in a while.
I don't care if it be an old-timers game. Seeing them two pitch against each other, that would be a riot as the next pitch is fouled off by Kernodle. 2-2 count, 2 outs, triple deuces on the board. And
they both had long careers. I would imagine at some point they faced one another, but you got to remember it was before interleague play when the majority of them, they both played in their careers. So maybe they didn't face each other a whole heck of a lot. I think Maddux was primarily National League.
He was his whole career.
Throughout his career. And Randy Johnson bounced around, obviously starting with the Expos and making a name for himself in Seattle.
Yep.
Then going back to the National League with Arizona, then to the Yankees. There's a swing and a miss for Kernodle for another strikeout for Prince. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. So much for that being a beneficial inning for Jamestown here, getting to look at Prince a couple of times. They might have to look at him a few more times here. So through 6 innings of work, it's still 3-3 all tied up. We'll have inning number 7 in just a moment right here on WRFA. Did play with the Padres, didn't he? Played with the Cubs like 3 different times. 3.
Really?
Yeah, he left the Cubs and then came back a 3rd time.
Oh, learn something every day.
Pretty sure it was 3. Look it up on your smartphone device if you get a chance.
Top of the 7th about to start here, and we are deadlocked 3-3. It's been a tie since the 3rd inning, and Rafalski getting a 2nd inning of work and had a strong performance in the 6th. He struck out 2 batters despite having a couple of men on base, and it's going to come down to, I think, who makes the first critical mistake. But we'll just have to wait and see, and we may possibly see our first extra innings game of the season here as well, but again, there's still 3 more innings of quote regulation play.
We've got 2/3 of a game left to go. We've seen a lot of stuff happen in the first 6 innings, so anything can happen in these next 3 innings. Not going to say extra innings just yet, but it is shaping up to be a great duel between the 2 top teams in the West Division, which is what we are hoping for. By the way, we got Bryce Mortolero stepping up to lead off for the Muckdogs here in the top of the 7th, and then Chad Falcon is on deck, followed by Kyle Hetherington.
Yeah, speaking of Mortolero, he's looking for his first hit, but he does have an RBI to his name, so end of the day, getting the job done when needed, as that one's chopped foul near the Skunk dugout for a strike. And Grady Mee, who's actually got the day off, was able to retrieve it. Falsky's shaking off a sign, but he's got the one he wants from Juwan. And that one looked like it may have slipped off his fingertips.
Yeah, it bounced well short of the dirt in front of home plate, so definitely not exactly what he was planning to do there, but the count's only 1-1 here against Mortolero.
1-1 on the way for Rafalski, and that one looked a lot better and made Mortolero try hunting for night crawlers there, making the count 1-2.
Yeah, Rafalski's breaking ball's working well here. We've seen the 2 prior batters that he struck out also swing and whiff on a couple of his pitches.
Next one skips in the dirt, making the count 2-2.
That's the thing with Rafalski is when his breaking ball is on, it's definitely on, but I don't think he has obviously 100% control of that pitch because we've seen a couple go into the dirt and a little loose side, but you'll see that with young pitchers. It's not uncommon.
2-2 on the way. It's going to go over to Googans. Clean field. Throw to Monroe in time for the first out. 6-3, ground out style.
Yeah, that was another breaking ball that actually broke, and credit Mortolero for reading it and making contact, but, you know, when you're off balance trying to reach for that kind of a pitch, you're not going to drive it very far, and more times than not, you're going to ground out, and that's what we saw there.
Yeah, with that now it's going to be Chad Falcon. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. It's going to be a pinch hitter coming in. So it's going to be number 25, Sean Ladd. He's a right-hander, 6'3", goes to Dallas College, Mountain View, and he's from the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
And on the season, he's hitting 176, 3 of 17 with 3 runs and 3 RBIs.
So doesn't see a lot of action here, but he's trying to get a spark here for the Muckdogs in the late stages of this ball game here in the 7th inning. There's an inside pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count here against the pinch hitter, Sean Ladd.
I wonder if he got put in because in Falcons' 2 appearances, he did strike out. Maybe they wanted to change their luck a little bit. It doesn't hurt to try. Next pitch by Rafalski, though, is fouled off, evens the count 1-1.
And that took a bad bounce against the catcher for Jamestown, Henry Juwan, who has already been injured this season on the DL, and he's trying to shake that off a little bit. Still trying to come to his senses. A really good stinger, and obviously the umpire coming to talk with Ryan Rafalski just to give Juwan an opportunity to recompose himself, because never a good feeling when you get a low, fast pitch like that coming in hot, whether it deflects off of your glove or not. But I think Juwan is composed himself about as much as he can for taking that nasty hit by the pitch, and we're about ready to resume action here. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Pinch hitter Sean Ladd for the Batavia Muckdogs, batting 8th in the order, stepping in now. And here we go.
Even count 1-1. Next pitch is low and outside, ball 2. Last few innings, it's been a seesaw pitcher battle. Neither team allowing any runs to score. As the next one made Batavia duck, but thankfully nobody got hit, so count does remain 2-2.
Yeah, Kyle Hetherington over there. I had to play a little duck action to prevent from getting hit in the noggin in the warm-up box over there.
Next pitch, caught, looking, strike 3. So Ladd gets rung up on the backward K, and now it's going to be Hetherington, the center fielder.
Yeah, that's the 3rd strikeout for Kyle Rafalski here, the 11th on the night for Jamestown. Pitching looking good so far, and now we've got the left-handed hitter, Hetherington, stepping up. He got a base hit in the 3rd inning and struck out in the 5th inning. He also scored the 2nd run of the ball game for the Muckdogs. Here's the pitch from Rafalski. That'll be high and outside for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, so Rafalski, he's looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And this late in the game, that'd be huge. You get to maybe boost the offense, and that one nearly went in our view of the press box in our end, but it was about, I would say, roughly a foot wide to the right. So thankfully we don't need Scott Norwood for that one, and counts even 1-1. As the next pitch on the way by Rafalski. That one right down Broadway, strike 2.
You could have reached out there and caught that, Norm, if you really tried.
I don't want to risk falling. If I would have had a mitt, maybe.
I've got a left-handed mitt.
You have a hat on, you could have just stuck that out.
Well, I got my headset on over it, so.
All the same. Here's the 1-2.
And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So, a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Rafalski. We've hit the 7th inning stretch with the score still tied at 3. And Will, once again, over to you.
Support for WRFA is brought to you in part by listeners like you. WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit community radio station. Anyone who wants to make a donation or any amount can do so by simply clicking the donate button located on the menu bar of our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and easy. Checks of any amount can be made out to the WRFA radio and mailed to the radio station at 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701. Local businesses are encouraged to make an underwriting contribution to WRFA. To learn more about becoming a station underwriter, email WRFA@regilene.com. If you enjoy this program, please consider making a donation or underwriting contribution today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Low power to the people. Right on.
Right on indeed, the main tagline for the station. Always good to hear. And we got a call to the bullpen, and it's going to indeed be Isidro Jimenez. And a little reminder on who Jimenez is. He's from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, a 6-foot right-hander that goes to Stillman College. So despite some issues with the walks, though, Prince, a solid performance, though he, like Chafee, will be saddled with the no decision.
Yeah, credit Preston Prince here for really doing a good job keeping the bats of Jamestown in check. Only giving up 4 hits through 6 innings. Here we are now in the bottom of the 7th with the relief pitcher coming in. We'll see what he can do to keep the Muckdogs' odds alive. But again, Norm, I said it from the beginning, I really like seeing close ball games like this between 2 top-notch clubs. Just 1 error so far on the scoreboard. I think there's actually been 2 errors in the game, but they've given it 1 error on the scoreboard. We've had a very clean game of baseball, a lot of strikeouts, few walks, and some good defense out there as well. I can't wait to see what happens here in the next 2.5 innings with the score all tied up at 3 apiece. Will, you got the stats, don't you?
Yes, I do, but I do not see Jimenez on our roster, but I believe Norm is pulling up his stats for us right now.
From taking a look here, it looks like it's going to be his first appearance of the season.
Well, there you go. I was going to say, I pulled those stats this morning on my my print sheet, so I was pretty confident that they were fairly up to date. And, well, this will be his first appearance. Isidro Jimenez from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. He's got some heat.
Oh, he's got a hard delivery.
His hat's a little crooked, too, every time he pitches.
You know what that makes me think of? The relief pitcher from about 5-10 years ago, Fernando Rodney. He was known to tilt his cap a little bit. Also have that bow and arrow celebration whenever he got a save. Yeah, I can see it, though. It's tilted a little to the right side. But it's going to be the batter up. It's going to be Henry Juwan, who has gotten on base in both appearances so far. So Jimenez getting the pitch he wants from Mortellaro. His first pitch, Juwan hits it, and it's going to be fielded over by Rodriguez. Wild throw to first, and he's out! What a play by Caleb Rodriguez. Shades of Omar Vizquel right there. You might as well get him some dancing pants because he did a full 360, threw it over to first, and nailed Juwan for the first out.
Yeah, the shortstop pirouette and then throw over just in time to the first baseman. You love seeing those type of dynamic plays to get the out, even if it is the visiting team. I mean, we're homers here, obviously. We're the Jamestown broadcasters, but good baseball is good baseball no matter what side of the scoreboard you're rooting for, and that was definitely a great defensive play by Batavia.
Yeah, you always got to appreciate it, no matter if it's the team you do it for or the opponent. If it's a nice play, you got to acknowledge it as the next pitch is swung on and missed by Thompson for a strike, and he's looking for hit number 2.
Yeah, Thompson is 1 for 2 on the night. Struck out in the first inning looking, but he did get a base hit back in the 4th inning. We'll see if he can increase Jamestown's chances here by getting on base with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Next pitch on the way, inside, 1-1. So again, Jimenez, he's coming in relief for Prince after 6 innings of work, and he and Chafee, again, will be saddled with no decisions as Jimenez gets the sign he wants. 1-1 delivery, and outside, 2-1. I'll say, though, with it being his first appearance of the year, this could possibly be an advantage for Jamestown because he has yet to appear in a game until now, and who knows if there's pitches that he throws that they like, maybe take a few cracks, get some base hits, and break this tie that's been going on for the last 3 1/3 innings. But count 2-1 here. Next pitch on the way. It's going to be a grounder. And fielded there cleanly by the second baseman. Throw it to first. And good hustle there by Jimenez to tag the bag.
Yeah, very nice job by Jimenez to get the out there because The second baseman got it, and the first baseman was making a move back to first to try to cover, but the wherewithal with the pitcher there knew that maybe the first baseman wouldn't get back in time. So, you know, some other pitchers might have felt maybe my first baseman will get there in time. I'm not going to bother to hustle, but Jimenez definitely moved over to first, and that made all the difference getting that second out there.
So now it'll be Kieran Gagnon up to bat, and he's looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2 so far, and next pitch on the way by Jimenez, and that one inside, ball 1.
Yeah, he grounded out in the second inning and then hit into or rather in the first inning and hit into a double play back in the fourth inning, the only double play we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, the other day I believe we saw 2. They're always fun to watch. But 1-0 pitch by Jimenez, and chopper over to third, fielded cleanly there by Lopez, throwing to first in time, and Jimenez, 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 7th. That's 7 up and 7 complete here at Diethrick. Score still tied at 3, but we got the 8th inning coming up momentarily on WRFA. This is 8.
Need of the water?
Please. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
That's what interns are for, is fetching water.
Top of the 8th about to start here, and Ryan Rafalski about to get another inning of work, and he's done a solid job since coming in for Chafee, and between he and Chafee, they've got 12 combined strikeouts. Chafee had 8, Rafalski's got 4.
Yeah, through 2 innings, Rafalski's given up just 1 hit to go along with his 4 strikeouts, and maybe more importantly, no walks in his 2 innings of work. So looking very sharp out there, as you would expect the veteran of the Tarp Skunks to be. This is his 3rd season with Jamestown, and he is not disappointing in his relief appearance here as he works on his 3rd inning now of relief here in the top of the 8th inning.
And Rodriguez, he is 1 for 2 at first, or he had a single in the 3rd, and his second at bat, it was at the time ruled a single, but later got changed to an E3 as the next pitch was called outside for a ball. And we actually did see a pitcher doing some stretching in the bullpen. From my view, it looked like it was Evan Berta, number 30, as this one's fouled off and going into the Muckdog bullpen, and it'll drop for a strike.
Yeah, just warming up Berta is right now, and not even throwing at all, just literally just doing some stretches to warm up. So I'm not sure when, if possibly he will make it in or not. Deflected off of the handle of the bat. I don't think it hit him in the hand, and so that'll count as a foul ball, and the count will remain 1-2.
Well, but at least it wasn't strike 3, so Rodriguez will get to see another pitch. And I'm sure he's hungry for hit number 2. As the next pitch by Rafalski's on the way, and he will get hit number 2. It's going to drop in the right field for a base hit.
So Batavia finds himself with a runner on board and no outs here in the top of the 8th inning with that base hit from Rodriguez, and giving him his, looks like his 3rd hit of the game, Norm. I have him with a base hit in the 3rd inning and a base hit in the 5th inning.
Oh, the 5th got changed to an E3.
That's right. Thanks.
So speaking of that lead, he does have 2 stolen bases. He's been walked twice. He has struck out. I'm sure he wants to add a hit to his stat book.
Rodriguez, by the way, has had 3 stolen bases tonight. There's a bunt Juwan gets it over quickly to Monroe for the out, but it does advance the runner with 1 out now. Rodriguez finds himself on second base. He's in scoring position. And Batavia in the late stages here trying to get the lead. It's all knotted up at 3 apiece. It's been that way since the bottom of the 3rd inning when Jamestown tied it up after having an early lead, giving up that lead to the Muckdogs in the top of the 3rd. Jamestown came back and tied it up, and it's been that way ever since. Maybe the Muckdogs will break it open here in the top of the 8th with 1 out and a runner at second.
And this one's hit to deep left center. Catalano chasing under it, and nearly a miscommunication there between he and Gagnon, but tagging over going to 3rd is Rodriguez, and even though there is now 2 outs, Rodriguez now is in scoring position, and it's going to be Agresti coming up to bat. He's got 2 of the 3 RBIs.
Yeah, that for a second there I thought might drop in the gap, so a good job by Catalano to get over there. Gagnon also over there to track it down. But now just 90 feet away from taking the lead is Batavia. Important for Rafalski to stay focused against Adam Agresti here, and also for Juwan to play backstop and not let the ball get behind him in the catcher position.
Next pitch on the way by Rafalski, and this one is a shallow fly ball into mid-range center field, and Catalano will make the catch for the 3rd out, so top of the 8th complete. Score still tied 3-3. And once again, Will, my friend, do your stuff.
Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by the Reginald Center for the Arts, the official license holder of the WRFA radio. Reginald Center for the Arts is located in the heart of downtown Jamestown at 106 East 3rd Street. It offers comprehensive programming that inspires, educates, and empowers our community. Reginald also offers rental of its facilities to the public, providing spaces for 12 to 1,200 guests. The popular Movies at the Reg offers a safe and comfortable environment for patrons to watch a wide variety of films, with food and beverages also available. For more information, visit reginald.com or call 716-664-2465. Again, that is 716-664-2465.
And with that, bottom of the 8th about to commence here, and Jimenez getting another inning of work, and it's going to be the 7 through 9 hitters due up. It's going to be Munoz, Garth, and Monroe that are coming up to bat.
Yeah, this is the part of the ball game. Depending on what these first 2 batters do, we'll see if we get any pinch hitters in. Jamestown has remained with its lineup throughout the entire ball game. I know Coach Bazil likes to bring in some pinch hitters every now and then, especially in the late stages of the game to try to break it open, but he's sticking with the lineup right now with Munoz stepping up to the plate. He got a base hit back in the 2nd inning and flew out back in the 4th inning, so this will be his 3rd plate appearance of the night as he faces off against Isidro Jimenez, who is now at his 2nd inning and didn't do a bad job his 1st inning of appearance and relief work, a 1-2-3 inning against the Jamestown batters.
So speaking of that, Jimenez's next pitch on the way, inside ball 1. I kind of got a bold prediction. Should Munoz get on base, I don't think it would hurt to pull him and maybe put me or Kent out there to pinch run. I know they occasionally also use Aiden Dunlap, too.
One step at a time. Let's see if Munoz gets on, but that's good thinking all the same, Norm.
Well, next pitch is popped up. It's in play. And I'm a victim of the broadcaster jinx right there, as it's a pop to short for the 1st out, and now it will be Drew Garth, the right fielder.
Yeah, Drew Garth grounded out in the 2nd inning and also grounded out in the 5th inning, so he's 0 for 2. Batting left-handed against a right-handed pitcher. Oftentimes the advantage goes to the batter in these situations.
So 1 out on the board. Jimenez's next pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 1. I think Garth was trying to go for that go-ahead home run, but didn't even get a taste of the ball to the bat.
Yeah, that was a nice fastball by Jimenez there. We saw him warming up. He's got a nice a fastball here. We'll see what he brings this time.
That one in the dirt for a ball. I would, if I had to guess without a speed gun or the speedometer, I would think 95, maybe 96, roughly.
It's fast. It's all I can say. It's hard for me to gauge once it gets over 80 miles an hour. Obviously, you can see a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and know the difference between that and an 80, but it's fast. That was inside for another ball, so 2-1 the count here, and that's 3 consecutive fastballs that he's thrown here. That might be his bread and butter pitch. Whereas with Rafalski, we see a lot of breaking balls and change-ups, you know. I mean, it depends on the style of the pitcher and all that.
Yeah. There's an old saying I've heard about players that want to pursue the show. In the show, anybody can hit a fastball, so breaking balls are just as important. Count, though, 2-1 with 1 out. Jimenez looking to at least even it at 2-2. Here comes the next pitch. That one outside, ball 3. I'm kind of wondering the same, should Garth get walked if they keep him out there or throw the runner in. He is ahead in the count, though, 3-1. It is the green light, so if it's a pitch he likes, I have no doubt he's going to swing. And umpire calls timeout, and it was Garth that needed a moment to adjust the batting gloves and collect the thoughts momentarily, and now he's ready to go.
Jimenez ready to deliver here. You got to imagine it's going to be right down the middle.
Here's the 3-1 on the way, and inside corner, count goes full.
That was a little low, but the crowd showing their disconcertation with that pitch.
Here's the payoff by Jimenez, and swings and misses for strike 3. So Jimenez able to come back in the count and get his first strikeout, and now it will be Cooper Monroe.
Yeah, Monroe's 0 for 2 on the night, striking out in the second inning and flying out to first base in the 4th inning. This is the bottom of the 8th inning here. The Tarp Skunks hosting the first place Batavia Muckdogs, and we're all knotted up at 3 apiece.
And here's Jimenez's next pitch, and Monroe trying to hit the gondola, but is unsuccessful. Count 0-1.
He was thinking about Gorgonzola when it was clearly Brie time.
So 0-1 count here, and Monroe looking for his first hit of the game as Jimenez gets the pitch he wants to deliver, and here's the delivery. And that one in the dirt, ball 1. And even though he's got some good smoke, we have seen that it's not always consistently in the zone.
Yeah, a little bit of a control issue with his fastball. But he hasn't allowed a runner to get on yet in 1 2/3 inning here. Trying to shut down the Jamestown bats again against Cooper Monroe here.
Well, here's the 1-1, and that one fouled off going over the top of the right field bleachers and makes the count 1-2. I'm sure Jimenez is looking for back-to-back strikeouts to close the bottom half of the 8th. And the last near 5 innings, the runs have gone dry. Now he's got the pitch he wants from Mortellaro. And here's the 1-2. That one got a good lick of it, but it's going to go foul. Hits off the right side of the lighting fixture, and count stays 1-2, and Monroe protecting the plate.
Monroe doing all he can to stay alive here. We know that he has power. His batting average isn't the best on the team by any means, but we did see him clear the fence with one of his high pop flies that was so high it just kept on carrying all the way out of the ballpark. Of course, that wasn't ruled a home run because of something we talked about earlier, but all the same, he can do it if he wants to. That was an inside pitch for a ball, making it 2-2 here. And Cooper Monroe staying alive now with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, all tied up at 3 apiece. Jamestown hosting Batavia.
Yeah, counts even 2-2, and Jimenez trying to get the last out. Monroe looking to keep the inning going for at least another batter. And this one, it's a good lick into right field. Leadham trying to chase it, and it's going to drop. Monroe heading over to second, trying to go for a double, and he's going to be safe. His first hit of the game, and it couldn't have come at a better time. A stand-up double. He represents the go-ahead run, and now it'll be Connor Bendeck, who, like Monroe prior to the double, he is due for a hit.
Yeah, and Cooper Monroe, like I said, not the best batting average on the team, but he knows how to get a hold of one, and he did there, driving it all the way to the wall over in right field. A stand-up double here, and Jamestown is in business with 2 outs with a runner in scoring position, and we are at the bottom of the batting order with Connor Bendick now, and a pinch runner coming in, as you suspected, Norm. We've got somebody now on second. I think that's number 39, Zach Kent. So Jamestown is 180 feet away here from retaking the lead, but we are 2 outs into the bottom of the 8th inning.
And with that, the pinch runner, Zach Kent, he does have 14 stolen bases on the season, so why not get one more tonight?
Yeah, he's the team leader in steals. Don't let the batting average of his fool you. When he gets on base, he will take off. And pinch running now for Monroe, and Bendick, he's got a chance to drive in the go-ahead run.
We'll see how aggressive he is in base running here with 2 outs.
And that hit him right in the elbow guard, and he's going to head over to first, and we'll be back to the top of the order in Catalano. So Kent represents the go-ahead run at second. Bendick, a possible insurance run, but first Catalano's got to get on base.
Yeah, well, Catalano did get on base twice so far tonight by way of walks. He walked in the first inning and walked in the 3rd inning. Both of those walks given up by the starting pitcher, Preston Prince. And then Prince struck him out in the 6th inning. This will be the first time Catalano faces Isidro Jimenez. And now the coach for Batavia coming out to talk with Jimenez and try to calm him down. He was firing on all cylinders for the first 5 batters he faced against Jamestown. But here in the bottom of the 8th inning, with 2 outs, Cooper Monroe breaks it open with a double. And now Connor Bendick getting hit by a pitch. And we've got another pinch runner now. Greedy Grady getting out there to try to get some action. Running all the way past first base to warm his legs up a little bit. They will need his wheels, but more importantly, they will definitely need the wheels over on second if they want to try to take the lead here. It's all tied up at 3 apiece. But anything can happen with the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and a little 2-out lightning, which we've seen in the past.
Yeah, the Cardiac Skunks, and Grady he's actually second on the team in steals. He's 1 behind Zach Kent. Also one of the top batters on the team as well.
Yeah, batting .319 on the season, so he's known to hit the ball, and he's known to hit the ball well.
And he's got a good lead off the bag, and even though it was a bit delayed, at the end of the day, you might as well call me Tony Romo, calling that Kent and me were going to be out there eventually. Catalano gives us a ride to center, but it's going to be a case of the Ray Guy hang time. So that's 3 outs, 8 innings complete at Diethrick. But the score's still tied at 3. We got the 9th inning coming up after this on WRFA.
You'll get to know their studio and equipment and explore a variety of techniques, building skills, and confidence. Perfect for beginners. Classes will begin July 14th. For more information and to register for the Clayhouse Explorers classes, visit Pearl City Clayhouse online at pearlcityclayhouse.org. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball right here on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
I'll do the next one.
And score tied at 3 here as we're about to start the top of the 9th inning. And there's also, with Monroe being subbed out for that pinch runner in Kent, it's now Colin Hout taking over at first base. And the batters due up for Batavia, it's going to be 4 through 6, Acelta, Arcuri, and DeStefano. And last chance for Batavia on quote-unquote regulation play before Jamestown to get last licks. And Rafalski, he has done very well so far in 3 innings of work. He has struck out 4 batters, and he is not allowed to run.
And we got some action over in Batavia Muckdogs bullpen. Obviously, Jamestown is going to have bottom of the 9th inning ups regardless of what happens here in the top of the 9th inning. Even if Rafalski is able to shut down the Muckdogs and keep them from scoring any runs, Jamestown will get a chance at the bottom of the 9th to win the ball game in walk-off fashion. But all the same, we've got number 4, Trey Don't Call Me Kevin Bacon, out there warming up for Batavia. We'll see if he comes in the bottom of the 9th inning or not. Probably 4 degrees removed from Kevin if your name's Trey, or do you think maybe a little bit closer?
Well, technically the game is 6 degrees, but I'm sure he'll look to strike out a few good men. Actually, in one of their wins here earlier at Diethrick, he got the save. And he pitched the bottom of the ninth, so he is, I would assume, the closing pitcher. And he also is an outfielder as well, as the next pitch is outside for a ball, making the count 1-0. And it appears that we actually, the batter that's up, because there was that pinch runner, it's Bernardini.
Yeah, he was the pinch runner as well. So he stays in to bat in place of James Asalta to lead off the top of the ninth inning here with a count of 1-1. Ryan Rafalski continuing to pitch for Jamestown in relief in the top of the ninth inning. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. That'll be swung on and chopped on over to short, thrown over to first in time for the out. So that's one away here with the 6-3 ground out.
Yeah, and as Arcuri comes up the bat, and he's 2 for 3 again, fans, we're at the top of the hour. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York, and this is a big-time pitcher's battle here. There hasn't been a run scored since the 3rd inning, and that was when Catalano scored a run before the 3rd out occurred in the bottom of the 3rd, as the next pitch to Arcuri is called a strike, count 0-1.
Arcuri, by the way, comes in 1-1. He got a base hit in the 4th inning, struck out in the 6th inning. He also walked and scored a run back in the 2nd inning. That pitch is a little low and outside for a ball, making it 1-1 the count here against Arcuri.
Yeah, and also appears as a Skunks pitcher also warming up in the bullpen in case there's possible extras. Next pitch outside, making the count 2-1, and Arcuri looking to get on base here, and this is where Batavia needs to get a run if they want to end this in 9.
I've got the light pole obstructing my view, so hold on a second here. Here's the pitch.
And that one got past Juwan, and earlier it was Berto that was warming up, but it could be somebody else. Well, here's a 3-1 by Rafalski. Chop foul, count goes full, and it also hit off Arcuri's foot.
We'll have to wait and see. That light pole is making it too difficult to see, but here's the 3-2 delivery.
And a foul ball to the backstop, count stays full, so Arcuri fighting to get on base. Here's another payoff, and that's outside, ball 4. So Arcuri will get the base on balls, and now it's going to be DeStefano.
Yeah, that was Rafalski's first walk of the ball game. Coming in relief work back in the 6th inning, and finally giving up a walk here to go along with his 4 strikeouts and 2 hits. Just 7 hits total for the Batavia Muckdogs tonight. Rafalski giving up 2 of them. The other 5 given up by starting pitcher Evan Chafee, and that's all we've seen tonight. 2 pitchers for Jamestown through 8 innings of work.
Rafalski's next pitch on the way. That one inside, ball 1. DeStefano looking for his first hit of the game.
Yeah, he's 0 for 3. He grounded out in the 2nd inning, flew out in the 4th inning, and he struck out back in the 6th inning.
Pickoff attempt, but Arcuri does get back safely. And the other pitcher that's warming up with Bacon, I actually was noticing he's got that submarine style kind of a pitch.
Yeah, they've got 2 pitchers warming up here now, Norm. I'll give you that number in just a second.
Well, here's the next pitch, though, and it's upstairs, ball 2. So 2-0 count here, and DeStefano looking to get on base, advance Arcuri to second. He does represent the go-ahead run at first. Rafalski's got the sign he wants, and here comes the next pitch. This one fouled off, going out of play, count 2-1.
Looks like number 15, the submarine pitcher, throwing out there for Batavia in the bullpen along with number 4.
Okay, that would be Garrett Beaver. He's from Waynesboro, PA, and a sophomore at Salisbury University, and he's a right-hander.
Rafalski checking the runner back at first and almost getting him there. He had to dive back to make it safely. 2-1 the count here with 1 out. Top of the 9th inning, all tied up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, foul ball was able to make the count 2-1. Next pitch, right down the pipe, strike 2. Some of the nasty stuff there by the Skunk veteran.
Yeah, Rafalski again with a really nice breaking ball there. I think DeStefano thought it was going to hit him, and then it broke right at the right time across the plate to make it strike number 2. 2-2 the count now against DeStefano.
Here comes the next pitch, and that's fouled off. So DeStefano able to see another pitch, and I'm sure he's wanted to at least get Arcuri to second, but a base hit for him would be even better to avoid 2 outs. Arcuri not a big lead off of first, as here's another pickoff, but it's a bad throw it. And there was no way Hauck, I don't think, would have gotten that, and Arcuri now in scoring position, and that one looked like it was underneath the glove of Hauck as it bounced and went back. And that's, again, the case of hitting the well one too many times, and the well broke.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, Norman. It's good to keep the runner in check there, but it was really close when the previous time he threw over to first, almost getting the tag there. And I think Rafalski got a little greedy, thinking he could get him this next time, and instead an errant throw caused the runner to advance to second. And a good job by Juwan keeping the ball in front of him there so the runner doesn't advance over to third. Remember, we have just 1 out here, and Batavia has had their chances. They left 5 runners on base throughout this ball game here. Jamestown hoping to make it 6 runners left on base now with a runner at second and 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
And with that, here comes the payoff pitch by Rafalski. That's outside, ball 4, so back-to-back walks issued by Rafalski, and now it's going to be Mortellaro, the catcher, as first off, pitching coach Barry Powell will have a meeting of the minds, the conference on the mound. Again, there was a pitcher warming up for Jamestown, but I wonder if this is just going to be a case of saying to Rafalski, let's calm the nerves a little bit. You've got 1 out. Maybe throw a pitch, induce a double play, and force the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, Coach Bazil is willing to keep his pitcher out there. My feeling is that it's Coach Powell being sent out there just to calm Ryan Rafalski down a little bit. Obviously, Jamestown has been in this situation before with a couple runners on base. We actually had runners at second and third at one point tonight with just 1 out, and Jamestown was able to get out of that one, if I'm not mistaken. All the same, they've left 5 runners on base so far tonight, Batavia, and they've got 2 runners on right now, but Jamestown has seen this situation, and they're going to do what they can to try to get out of it. I'm looking at my score sheet here. We did have 2 runners left on base back in the 5th inning, and, yeah, they both advanced. We had 1 runner at third base and 1 runner left at second base back in the 5th inning, and Jamestown got out of it. Right now we got a runner at first and second with 1 out, and the Skunks should be able to avoid catastrophe here. And I shouldn't say catastrophe, but avoid giving the lead up to Batavia. Regardless of what happens here, remember, we're in the top of the 9th inning. Jamestown does have the opportunity to have final at-bats, and they'll have 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th no matter what happens here. But they want to try to get out of this without giving up a run. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, so Mortellaro, even though he's 0 for 3, he does have an RBI. I'm sure he's aching for a second one, as, again, Arcuri represents the go-ahead run at second, and the first pitch was called a ball as it was low.
Yeah, control is the name of the game here for Rafalski at this point. No errant throws, whether it be to the catcher or trying to attempt a pickoff.
Next pitch in the dirt, but Juwan able to block it, makes the count 2-0.
And he's only given up 2 hits so far tonight to go along with these 2 walks. So Rafalski has looked pretty sharp in relief. Now time's going to be called here, and Juwan's going to come out quickly to talk with Ryan Rafalski. Maybe he noticed something and wants to point it out really quickly. That's exactly what it is, as both of them are talking with the gloves over their mouths. And now they're on the same page. We'll see if it pays off.
Maybe it was a miscommunication on a sign or a signal, but Hopefully it's resolved, but the count is just 2-0. I'm sure Rafalski wouldn't mind a ground ball-inducing double play. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike one, and that is what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, that'll help settle him in a little bit here after giving up 2 consecutive walks and having a 2-0 count against this batter here. Now it's 2-1 with 1 out. Runners at first and second.
Next pitch is fouled off, and it's going to be an even count, 2-2. So Rafalski does come back from 2-0 to even the count. A strikeout would be nice, but a double play would be even better to close out the top half of the inning. We'll just have to wait and see what occurs on this pitch. Grounder over third, but it's going to go foul. Or good hustle by Thompson, but it bounced foul just as he was getting it into his glove.
Yeah, you could tell from up here that it was going to be foul, but Matt Thompson not taking any chances and following through on the play as you would expect, and good hustle over there to keep it from getting in the outfield, but it was a foul ball, and we'll do it over again. 2-2 the count here with 1 out. Rafalski facing Mortellero.
2-2 on the way. This one popped up. It's in play. Houck chasing it down and makes a diving catch for the second out. What a move there by Houck, letting himself dive to make that catch and give him a gold medal for that one. A huge out, number 2.
Yeah, da-da-dun, da-da-dun. A little Sports Center highlight play right there. I didn't think he'd be able to get it in time. It was sort of in no man's land. If anything, I thought the catcher might have a better opportunity with it, but with the ball dropping away from the catcher, Houck had the better angle on it. So great job by Houck to make that catch, and now we have 2 away here with runners at first and second, and Jamestown has a chance to get out of this one, leaving 2 runners on.
Next pitch swung on a miss by Ladd for strike one. He actually pinch hit for Falcon back in the 7th, and he was caught looking.
And back to that catch, that was some great hustle by him to get nearly to home plate from all the way to first. So great hustle by him to be there and grab that ball.
And speaking of that, Ladd got a good crack of that one, but it was way foul. And honestly, that play by Houck, that possibly saved the inning for Jamestown to avoid a possible run. But they still got to get 1 strike and see how the bottom of the 9th goes.
Yeah, we still got 1 more out to get here. Let's not count the chickens before they hatch, but that was definitely a great defensive effort to give Jamestown the chance to get out of this.
Well, here's the pitch. That one upstairs, but Rafalski is ahead in the count still, 1-2.
Yeah, you would expect that to be somewhat of a chaser pitch there, and nothing doing for number 25, Sean Ladd. So 1-2 the count here.
He's got the pitch he wants to throw. Here's the 1-2. That one upstairs and inside. Count goes even. So 2-2 count, 2 outs. Rafalski 1 strike away from ending the top of the 9th with the score still tied. Here's the pitch. Oh, that one called inside. I thought he was going to get rung up.
Just missed the edge with that breaking ball there. The fans are not happy. Norm is not happy.
Oh, wow.
And I think even Sean Ladd knows that he got a break there. And now he's got a full count. 3-2, 2 outs, runners at first and second here. Jamestown trying to get the final out here in the top of the 9th inning, but the game all locked up at 3 apiece.
Payoff pitch, and that's going to be a chopper. And feeling clean there by Guggensoil first. And foot. Oh, I thought his foot was off the bag, but he was called out. So Rafalski gets through the top of the 9th. We're still tied at 3. Bottom coming up momentarily, but first, Jason, I'm going to shift it over to you.
Yeah, you're going to shift it to me because we obviously thanked all of our sponsors. And again, we want to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Schultz Auto Group, Chautauqua County IDA, and the Chautauqua Institution, who've supported us throughout this season, along with funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. But, of course, we got plenty more baseball to go, and I want to take the moment now to remind fans that we have a lot of baseball coming up here this week, as well as into next week. on Wednesday, it's a doubleheader against Newark, and Newark is not looking good this season. They're 6-16 on the season. So Newark right now will be coming in to play 2 games against Jamestown on Wednesday, July the 12th. Jamestown, by the way, has tomorrow off, so no matter what happens tonight, they'll get a break tomorrow. They'll have the doubleheader on Wednesday. They'll have Thursday off, and then they'll have a game against Auburn on Friday night here at Diethrick Park, and then they'll have a game against the Niagara Power on Saturday at Diethrick Park. So they've got 4 more games on the schedule here between the doubleheader Wednesday, the game on Friday, and the game on Saturday. And then they're going to be on the road at Auburn for 2 games, doubleheader on Sunday, July 16th, before they're back in action on Monday, July 18th. So again, there's going to be plenty of baseball to be played here, and we even have more games. Of course, you can go to wrfalp.com/tarpskunks to get the full schedule. Also, listen to all of the games on demand. We record all of our games thanks to our studio engineers, Gavin Paternity and Anthony Merchant, and those games are available to replay anytime you want. Listen to all the action, every pitch, at our website, wrfalp.com/tarpskunks. And we also have the Meet the Players features that we do, all available on demand as well. It's all courtesy of your community radio station, WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown. With that being said, back to you, Norm.
Jason, as always, thank you very much, and it's been great again to be back for another season of Skunks baseball, but a call to the bullpen, it's going to be Garrett Beaver, the submarine pitcher, again from Waynesboro, PA, and a 6'1" right-hander from Salisbury University. And Will, I'm going to shift it over to you for a moment because you've got the stats.
Yeah, so Beaver has appeared in 7 games this season with 9.2 innings, allowing 6 hits and 6 strikeouts, and has an ERA of .93. So a nice closer for the Batavia to bring out here for the bottom of the 9th, and we'll see if the Tarp Skunks can get it done against them.
We're in the meat of Jamestown's order, too. We got the second hitter, third hitter, and fourth hitter coming up here. We've seen some really dramatic endings at Diethrick Park. Maybe tonight we'll see another one.
Well, here's the first pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball, and bottom of the 9th, score tied. And if you're a 10-year-old kid playing the Little League, this is something you dream of, whether it be collegiate prospect, minor leagues, or pro level, as the next pitch hits the outside corner for a strike, evening the count 1-1, and this is bottom of the 9th again, tied at 3. Skunks with last licks in, quote, regulation play. Next pitch on the way by the pitcher, and outside again
Beaver.
is Beaver.
Beaver's got the fever with that submarine pitch here, a 1-1 count. 2-1 count, my apologies.
So Beaver will look to at least even the count or find something to force it out. Next pitch on the way. Outside, ball 3. Googins has been walked one time, and that was back in the first.
Yeah, he flew out in the third and grounded out in the 6th here. Any way to get on base counts when you're the leadoff hitter. Here we go.
And outside corner, count goes full.
Nice recovery there by Beaver. Full count now, 3-2. Against Tommy Googins leading off here in the bottom of the 9th, the game all tied up.
Here's the payoff, and that's fouled off. So Googins will get to see another pitch. I gotta say, though, if I had to describe this in 2 words, photo finish. Take 2 on the payoff by Beaver. That's a chopper over to short. Fielded there cleanly by Rodriguez. Throw to first in time. So another 6-3 ground out. Second time that's happened to Googins. And now it will be Jake Kernodle, who is due for a hit.
Yeah, Kernodle reached base on a hit in the first inning. We ruled it an error, but they ended up giving him the base hit. Remember, that went out to right field.
Oh, yes.
So he does have a hit already tonight, according to the scoring here in the ballpark. Norm and I both felt it was an error because it went off of the right fielder's glove. So it could have been a catch, and instead it wasn't, but they ruled it a hit. All the same, he's 1 for 3 on the night, 2 strikeouts to go along with that hit / error, and we'll see what he can do here.
Next pitch, that paints the outside corner for strike 1. I believe, though, had the Muckdogs had scored a run the 9th, maybe we would have seen Bacon, but with the score still tied, I think that might be why Beaver is in. But again, with those submarine pitchers sometimes, it can throw a batter off with the motion. That one is going to be ruled low for a ball, and it's even at ones.
We've seen submarine pitchers that don't have a lot of control either. I mean, you get that unorthodox throw, and it can throw the batter off, but you better be accurate with it, and sometimes they're not. But this Beaver's pretty spot on, as we saw right there with a nice strike right down the middle, swing and a miss, making the count 1-2.
So count 1-2 here with one out, and again, tied at 3 here. Nobody on. Cronoto looking to get on base to represent the walk-off run. Here's the 1-2. Oh, caught looking. I thought that was a tad outside, but he gets rung up on the backwards K, and again, the umpire has a better view, but us three have the best spot in the house, and now it will be Henry Juwan, the catcher.
Yeah, this is Jamestown's final out of regulation, but it's all tied up 3 apiece, so we'll have extra baseball here regardless if this is an out.
Well, here's Beaver's next pitch. Juwan hits a shot to left field. Is it going to go? Get out of here. Hits off the wall. But Juwan's going to head over to second, and he's got his second double of the game. He represents the walk-off run, and now it'll be Matt Thompson, the third baseman, up the bat.
Hey, needed to carry that one about 340 yards. It went 330 yards, Norm. Almost got the home run. Instead, he gets a stand-up double off the wall. And again, we have a chance for a little 2-out lightning here. And we've seen some dramatic finishes here at Diethrick Park this season with the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Can we see it again? Henry Juwan with 2 outs, reaches base on a double. And now Matt Thompson, the third baseman, stepping up here. And he could possibly win this ball game with a base hit. Because with 2 outs, you know Juwan's going to be going on contact.
Cardiac Skunks back at work again. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Nice catch there by Mortellaro. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, if that would have gone past Mortellaro, Juwan would be 90 feet away from scoring that winning run. And with that, Mortellaro's going to come out here to talk to Beaver and kind of calm him down a little bit. Hey, we love your submarine sidearm pitch, Mr. Beaver, but you got to make sure you throw it into my mitt here. If it's anything outside, it could be disastrous for our team. So I think he's just out there trying to calm down his pitcher a little bit and telling him make sure every throw counts and every throw is as accurate as possible, because with a runner in scoring position at second, a wild throw will make him 90 feet away. We've seen crazy finishes here, including a walk-off stolen home steal from home. I know that Brady's not out there tonight, but all the same, maybe this time it'll be Juwan who does something like that. Right now he's at second base, though.
Yep, and there is actually a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. It appears it is Bacon that's back out there, but again, it's a far-away view. But yeah, he was warming up with Beaver back in the last inning, but they're going to stick with him here. He does have 2 outs in his favor. Count is 1-0. That pitch way outside, and that was actually the exact kind of a pitch how Johnson stole home a couple of weeks ago. But again, got to give credit to Mortellaro. He made a nice catch to avoid that going to the backstop.
Matt Thompson, by the way, is 1 for 3 on the night. He did get a base hit back in the 4th inning. And stadium gets quiet now with this 1-0 pitch. Runner at second.
And here's Beaver's next pitch, and that hits the outside corner. Count goes even at 1s. Juwan representing the walk-off run 180 feet away at second base, and Thompson looking to get him home and send the Skunks fans out of here happy.
Everybody in the Tarp Skunks dugout on their feet.
Beaver checking Juwan at second. Here's the pitch, and this one's hit the center, but it's got a case of the hang time. Hetherington hustling down there. He'll make the catch, and for the first time at Diethrick this season, we're going to have extra innings. Score still tied at 3. We'll have the 10th coming up after this on WRFA.
Participants are encouraged to run or walk the beautiful trails that graze the property of the Heron Farm and Event Center. There will also be a pre-race yoga session for all participants at 8:30 a.m. prior to the race. Online registration will remain open through 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, August 11th. On-site registration will start on Saturday, August 12th. More information, including a link to the registration page, can be found at WRSALP.com or by going online to trysignup.com. It's the annual Hair and Trail Run in memory of Dave McDonald with proceeds to support WRSA. Happening Sunday, August 13th at 9 a.m.
It's going to be Burra coming in the pitcher, Jamestown.
On WRSA-LP.
Thank you.
This is the live play-by-play action for each home game right here at your community radio station. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit WRSALP.com/Tarp-Skunks. See you at the ballpark.
Once again, for the first time here this season, extra innings at Diethrick. And there is a new pitcher on the mound, but before we talk about that, we'll go over the rules here for extra innings. It's just going to be one extra inning, and if the score remains tied, it'll be a half a victory for both teams. And there's also the runner at second as well. But again, the new pitcher for Jamestown, it's number 30, Evan Berta. And Will, I'll shift that part over to you.
Thank you. So Evan has played in 8 games this season, starting 2 of them with 20.2 innings pitched, 16 hits allowed, 9 runs allowed, and 14 strikeouts with an ERA of 3.92.
And it's going to be number 37, Justin Espinal. He is the leadoff runner at second, and it's the last out that occurs.
I thought it was 32.
Oh, 32?
Yeah, I'm pretty. It looks
Rashad
like
Robinson? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Rashad Robinson out
Okay.
there, who I would imagine has some wheels. What's his numbers here for stolen bases?
Yeah, he has 13 stolen bases, and that is second on the team. So
Good idea.
Yeah, Robinson comes from Mobile, Alabama, and he plays at Bishop State Community College. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 160 pounds, and he's got some speed. He'll be the runner at second to start this 10th inning. Extra innings. Jamestown has been in extra innings before. They tied Niagara, but that was on the road, and that is the only tie they've had this season. Will we see another tie? Will we see Jamestown pull off a miraculous victory? Will Batavia snatch the victory away from Jamestown? We'll find out here in the 10th inning.
And speaking of that, Jason, the batters up are 9, 10, and 1. So it's going to be Hetherington, Rodriguez, and Leadham. And Hetherington, he's looking for his second hit of the game. And Burdock, again, coming in for Rafalski. Here's his first pitch. And a bunt attempt, but it hit the outside corner anyway for a strike.
Lefty versus lefty here with Berta now in the mound. Rafalski did a great job, but with it going into extra innings, he already pitched 4. Let's get somebody with a fresh arm out there here in the extra inning.
Yeah, Berta, we've seen him quite a bit here at Diethrick. And next pitch. Oh, it goes to the backstop. And Robinson's going to easily trot over to third. He didn't even need to break a sweat there.
Yeah, you hate to see that, but sometimes, you know, when you get a extra runner out there to start the inning, it throws everything a little sideways to begin with.
Yes, so Batavia with a big chance here. Even a sac fly can get Robinson home as he got to third off that wild pitch. This one popped up foul, goes over the press box, and makes the count 1-2. The goal here for Hetherington is just drive home the run. It doesn't have to be smooth as long as you get them home. Oh, cut! Look at strike 3. Berta taking Hetherington to Sesame Street on that one.
Yeah, that's Hetherington's 3rd strikeout of the ball game, and now we've got 1 out away here. The runner at third, and Caleb Rodriguez now stepping up to the plate. He's the shortstop. He got a base hit in the 3rd inning and scored the 3rd run. He also reached base on an error in the 5th inning, and he got a base hit in the 8th inning.
Berta's next pitch, and Rodriguez fouls it off for a strike.
So Rodriguez with somewhat of a hot bat, getting 2 hits in the ball game. That 3rd error is the E3 that we had with Cooper Monroe. No harm, no foul on that one, though, back in the 5th inning.
Next pitch, outside, ball 1. Yeah, I believe the last time we saw 10 innings, that game did end in a tie. That was the second game of the doubleheader versus Auburn last year. Very few and far between if we've seen extras here at Diethrick. Here's the next pitch. fouled off. Count goes 1-2. Rodriguez itching to drive home the run to give him the lead.
Berta, meanwhile, trying to get this out here with a 1-2 count. We'll see what he delivers here. He's got plenty of room to work with. Up in the count, 1-2. Here's the delivery.
That one outside. Count goes even at 2s. He had it in the right area. It was just a little wide. Berto shaking off a sign. Now he's got the pitch he wants. Here's the 2-2. Cut! Look at strike 3. Back-to-back backward Ks for Berta. And give him the rubber ducky. 2 strikeouts on 2 batters faced. And now it will be Josh Leadham, who is 0 for 2.
Yeah, Leadham reached base on a walk in the first inning, struck out in the third inning, reached base on a walk in the 5th inning, and grounded out in the 8th inning. So this is his 5th plate appearance, but as Norm noted, he's 0 for 2 with 2 walks.
And he made the most of those 2 because he has stolen a couple of bases. He had, actually, Will mentioned it at the start of the game, he had 22 steals going in. Now he's up to 24.
Got a little white striped 7 Nation Army. I don't think I've heard this one this season, Norm.
I've heard it a couple of times. Their most famous song, it takes me back to playing high school sports. It's a great pump-up tune, even though they've got a lot of other good ones. It's a shame that they've broken up because they're awesome to listen to.
Yeah, Jack Black is still out there doing his thing. Jack White. Jack Black's still doing his thing, too. I guess he was in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, he was Bowser.
From Sha-Na-Na? Guess that went over your head, huh? You don't remember Bowser from Sha-Na-Na?
I believe I do. They're going to do an intentional walk to have a force-out possibility at second.
So Josh Leadham is now at first with the intentional walk. That is his 3rd walk of the season. And now Lucas Lopez, it's lefty versus lefty here. Berta, the left-handed pitcher, versus Lucas Lopez, the left-handed hitter. Runners at the corners, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs.
Berta's next pitch, inside ball 1. I can understand why, though, because you want that force out at second, and plus Lopez is 0 for 4. Just a 1-0 count. Berta gets the sign he wants. Here's the next pitch. Oh, and Leadham will head over to second, but nobody covered the bag, really, so now 2 runners in scoring position. And a big chance for Lopez here to give Batavia back the lead. Again, there has not been a run scored since the bottom of the 3rd. Besides that, it's been a donut factory. Next pitch, I thought that was there, but not according to the umpire. But it's just ball 2, 2-1.
Juwan doing all he could to try to frame that as a strike, and even if he didn't frame it, it still looked pretty close to me. Umpire's got a tight strike zone tonight, at least for Jamestown. 2-1 the count here with 2 outs, runners at 2nd and 3rd.
2-1 pitch, that one outside ball 3, and should Lopez get the free pass, Agresti is on deck.
Not the worst thing that could happen if he gets walked here.
Force at any base.
I mean, the best thing that could happen would be a strikeout.
Well, here's a 3-1. That hits the heart of the plate. Count goes full.
And that's identical to 2 pitches ago,
yes,
which was a ball.
Little inconsistency, question mark?
Yeah, just a little. Nobody's perfect. All the same, he's already ready to deliver.
Here's the pitch and fouled off. Count stays full.
I thought that ricocheted off the catcher's shoulder pad, but it was fouled back instead.
All right, so full count. Who wants it more? Berta's had back-to-back strikeouts with the exception of the intentional walk to Leadham. Robinson representing the go-ahead run, and Leadham the possible insurance run.
Remember, Lopez 0 for 4 on the night here. He's got a full count with 2 outs.
Here's the payoff, and that's fouled again, so Lopez making Berta work here a little bit.
Yeah, a little Steely Dan back jack and do it again.
Doing it round and round. And he's no fool for doing the dirty work. Payoff pitch part 3. And that's low, ball 4, but it is a force at any base. He does have 2 outs, and it will be Agresti that is now up to bat, the DH.
Adam Agresti is the best batter in the Western Division, batting .409. Maybe his average has changed a little bit since tonight, coming in batting .409. I think he's still over 400. He did get a base hit earlier in the ball game. He's 1 for 4, so maybe it did drop a little bit. Right now he's batting .250 tonight, 1 for 4. But he could get the hit to send his team to the lead. It's the top of the 10th inning, 3-3. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 the count here against Adam Agresti.
And that's what he needed. Count 0-1. And Agresti, he also has 2 RBIs. So the one hit he had, he made it count. Here's the next pitch. That one low, ball 1, but a nice catch by Juwan behind the dish.
Adam Berta here trying to get this final strikeout here. The bases are loaded. Could be a play to any bag if it's in the infield.
Here's the 1-1. That one outside, but another nice catch by Juwan. And I got to say this, he has been one of the big heroes for Jamestown today.
He's doing a phenomenal job in that catcher position, keeping just about everything in front of him when it counts.
Count 2-1. Berta looking to keep it a tie game. Here's the next pitch. That one low, ball 3. If he walks a batter, that's going to drive in a run, and that would be Agresti's 3rd RBI.
Yeah, 3-1 count here. It's the hitter's count. Agresti will possibly swing away if he sees something he likes here, but hey, a walk is as good as a hit in this situation. You can send your team in the lead just by standing like a statue.
Here's the 3-1, and that's fouled off. Count goes full, so Berta still has a chance to get out of this unscathed. Again, bases, they're plugged. 2 outs. Agresti, the batter. Berta looking to force the bottom of the 10th with the score still tied. Fans getting pumped up. Here's the payoff. Caught, looking, strike 3. Caught on the outside corner. The score stays tied. 3 men left on base. Skunks have a chance to end it here in the bottom of the 10th. Score still tied 3-3.
We've got ourselves a heck of a ball game here, Norm, and I'll remind our listeners, if you enjoy the coverage on WRFA, hey, why not show your support? WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit community radio station that relies on support from our listeners, whether you're online or here in Jamestown listening to good old 107.9 FM. Anyone who wants to make a donation of any amount can do so simply by clicking the donate button located on the menu bar of our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and it's easy. Checks of any amount can also be made out to WRFA Radio. Does anybody still make checks out? If you do, make it out to WRFA Radio and mail it to the radio station the old-fashioned way. 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701. Local businesses are also encouraged to make an underwriting contribution to WRFA. To learn more about becoming a station underwriter, email WRFA@reglanay.com. If you enjoy this coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks or any game we bring you throughout the 2023 season, consider making a donation or an underwriting contribution today if you're a business. Your support is greatly appreciated. Low power to the people. Right on.
Right on indeed, and it's Trey Bacon on the mound now for Batavia. He was warming up with Beaver a couple of innings ago, and bottom of the 10th, batters up are Gagnol, Munoz, and Garth. But Will, I know you got the stat line, so I'll shift it over to you.
Yeah, so for Bacon, he has played 6 games so far, appearing in 7.2 innings, allowing just 2 hits, 8 strikeouts.
He did also get a save here not too long ago.
He does have 1 win and 5 saves on the season.
Yep, and again, one of them was right here. And
Luke Fuller will be the runner at second, number 28.
Okay. Yeah, the last out was Matt Thompson, but Fuller's going to come on and pinch run. So, quick question again, Will, how many steals does Fuller have on the year?
0.
Well, he's got decent speed, though. I have seen him around the base paths, so.
Maybe tonight will be the first time he gets one this season.
Yeah, Coach Bazil plays a very aggressive style of running, and with no outs and a runner at second, you know that he's going to be giving Luke Fuller the green light to steal third when the opportunity presents itself. Pitching for Batavia's Bacon, as Norm noted, he's a right-handed pitcher, so he will be staring at third base on every delivery. It'll make it a little bit more difficult to try to steal, but not impossible. But obviously, a sacrifice fly is what you want to see. A base hit is what you want to see. Even a walk is what you want to see. Anything to try to advance the runner at some point. So here we go. Some high drama at Diethrick Park. Bottom of the 10th inning, all tied up at 3 apiece. There is no 11th inning. It'll either end in a win or a tie.
And
here we go.
Yep. Infield playing in tight, though, thinking there may be a possible bunt. Here's the pitch. And called outside, ball one. A good job by Gagnon to abort the bunt. And he is looking for his first hit, but I think his goal is to just get Fuller 90 feet to third.
Yeah, he's looking for the sacrifice, whether it be a bunt or not. And now the umpire's calling time and giving a warning to the dugout. I'm not exactly sure what the warning is for.
Probably that call.
All the same, it was a ball that was called, so it's 1-0's the count.
Bacon checking on Fuller at second. Here's the next pitch. And this time it hits the outside corner for a strike, almost in the same spot as his first pitch. But Gagnon just wanting to advance Fuller to third. But he does have good speed, too. He's one of the guys in double figures in steals, so he could possibly leg it out. 1-1 count, next pitch. And it's a pop foul, but it hits the netting of the grandstands for strike two. Now you have no choice. You've got to take a full swing here.
Yeah, Kieran Gagnon is going to be swinging away here and just trying to get a sac fly. It'll be difficult to advance the runner from second to third if he hits it over in left field. Obviously, he's going to want to hit it to right or right center or just get a base hit. I mean, that's what you want to do. Right now the count is 1-2. He could also possibly walk here. But I don't see a sac fly working unless it's positioned just right.
Checking Fuller at second, hopscotching around the bag. Here's the 1-2, and it's a chopper foul, so Gagnon stays alive as that one bounced over to the bleachers, and a lucky fan will get a free souvenir to get autographed after the game, possibly.
Still a lot of fans here, too, and you would expect rightfully so. We're at about 20 minutes to 10 o'clock in the 10th inning. It's been a great ball game so far. Two teams duking it out here.
1-2 pitch. And this one's going to go foul to the Muckdog bullpen. Hits off the lighting fixture, but luckily no shattered glass, so no shades of the natural right there. And count stays 1-2, and Gagnon, he is fighting, making that bat look like a sword.
Well, he sent it in the right direction over in right field. I mean, if that would have been a fly ball in play and caught, that would have brought Luke Fuller over to third. Fuller, meanwhile, on second base here with no outs, bottom of the 10th inning.
Bacon ahead in the count, 1-2. Here's the next pitch. Chopper. Fuller will advance to third. Throw over to first. And in time, but Gagnon does do a good job. He advances Fuller over. And the chance to play the hero is going to be Jared Munoz, the extra hitter. Even a sac fly deep enough can get Fuller home. But the third base is off the bag once again. Second time today.
Oh, boy, I hope we have the ground screw here. We saw this happen in the first inning. Here we are in the 10th inning. And it happens again. And as we noted, that third base is persnickety. It doesn't necessarily want to go in to the moorings, unless, of course, you get the ground screw there. Coach Bazil's trying to fix it. He's giving the thumbs up, saying that it's good to go. I'm not sure if the umpire trusts him or not, but here we are in the bottom of the 10th inning with one out. There will be no more action played, and that might be the only thing you need to do is have a runner standing on third base. I don't think you're going to see anyone else sliding into third unless it's a throwback to try to pick the runner off. So I think Coach Bazil is happy with the way the bag is and the umpires as well. So we don't have to worry about the ground screw coming out here, even though the third base might be a little wobbly. I think it's still going to be safe to use to conclude this ball game.
I do agree. They even, the players on the dugout even waved off the groundskeeper that was going to implant the bag, but here's the next pitch. Munoz got a good piece of it, but it goes foul.
Yeah, he wasted no time here. Batavia, Bacon, and Munoz here already dueling it out. 0-1 the count here with one out and a runner at third, 90 feet away from a walk-off victory for the Tarp Skunks.
0-1 pitch on the way. Munoz hits at the right. That should be deep enough. And, lead him. I don't disagree with that. Let that one drop.
You got it.
Because if you make that catch, you bet your bottom dollar that Fuller's going to head home.
And he would have made it, too. So,
a
very smart play out there in right field by Leadham to not make the catch. Sometimes instinct tells you to make the catch, but he knew the situation. He knew the runner could tag up and run if it was caught in foul territory, so he just let it drop. And now the advantage is to Batavia with an 0-2 count and 1 out. That works in their favor. So nice job out there in right field for the Muckdogs.
Count, though, still 0-2. Bacon's next pitch, outside, ball 1. So Munoz, the plate discipline pays off, and he'll get to see another one. And if it's in that zone, I already have a hunch he's going to swing at it. He's another one that's not timid. Oh, caught looking, strike 3. So now it's going to be up to Drew Garth. It's either going to be a walk-off win or a half victory apiece, because when it's a tie, the teams get half a win. That'd be Jamestown's second tie of the year. But again, Garth still has to get over to the box. And Garth, he's hitless. He's due for a hit. Why not a walk-off one possibly? Bacon's next pitch. Garth swings, and it goes to the left! And that's going to be a walk-off single! A la Wayne's World style. Cardiac Skunks do it again. 4-3, back-to-back wins for Jamestown, and what a photo finish in 10 innings.
Unbelievable. What a great way to end the ball game. The first pitch you saw, Drew Garth took a whack at it, hopped over the third baseman's head, and the rest is history. Fuller easily making it to home to win the ball game, and what a victory, defeating the #1 team in the West Division, the Batavia Muckdogs, in extra innings here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Wow, phenomenal. It took Jamestown a good 7+ innings before they could score another run, but they did when it counted here in the bottom of the 10th inning, getting the 4th run and winning the ball game 4-3 against the Batavia Muckdogs. What a just phenomenal, unbelievable game, and a great way to wrap it up here.
Oh, indeed, and if I had to pick a player of the game, I would not go with this walk-off hit. I'd have to go dual style. I got to go with Chafee and Rafalski. The job they both did, 12 combined strikeouts. They got the job done when it was needed.
Yeah, with Batavia Muckdogs being the #1 team, you know they have some good bats. They've got the best hitter in the Western Division, and seeing him get struck out, obviously in the top of the 10th inning was nice to see as well. But pitching all around was great for Jamestown. They gave up 7 hits, sure, but not nearly as many walks as we saw last night. We saw double-digit strikeouts. It just was a phenomenal all-around approach by the Jamestown pitching crew. Hats off to Coach Bazil and Coach Powell for getting the pitchers ready and doing a phenomenal job. That was great. What were your thoughts about the game?
Yeah, it was another great game by the Tarp Skunks out here. And one thing I saw that they just never gave up. Even though they were down for a little bit, not scoring any runs, they just never gave up. They played with 110% effort, and it was a great thing to see. And they came to play tonight, so it was great to see that all these players never gave up, and they wanted this win.
Nothing better than a walk-off at Diethrick Park. We've seen 3 of them now.
Yeah, 3 of them. Braden Johnson was the hero for 2 of them, but this time it's Drew Garth with the walk-off single. And with that, Skunk fans, that's going to do it for tonight's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball.
And before we go, I think that might be a little good luck charm, because last time I was here, there was another walk-off. So I'm just knock on wood. But
Will Stallsmith, our intern, must now come to every game. Sorry about that to your other job, but now you're obligated to be here at the stadium, Will, for every home game we have.
Yeah, and with that, once again, that's going to do it for tonight's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball on WRFA. The final score, it took 10 innings, but your Skunks are the victors over Batavia, 4-3. Thank you to our studio engineer, Gavin Paternitti, and also to our WRFA intern in Will Stallsmith. Phenomenal job tonight. And for my broadcast partner, as well as the executive producer, Jason Sample, along with Will Stallsmith, this is Norm Rodriguez saying thank you for listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRFA.
Thanks, Gavin.